I need the 10 horse. Come on. Oh, here comes the 9. God damn it. Oh.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents the Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560 toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's Friday, you bastard.
The way I move around when I go through, I call the mambo movement number 2. On the toilet seat I swing and sway, to the mambo beat, the radio plays. I'm showing out a load and I'm all through. There's just one thing I got to do, a little bit of taste butter's all I need, so I can make my hiney nice and neat. I don't have to push, I'm in control. When I move side to side on the toilet bowl, I never have to spray, it comes out whole. It looks a little like the Tootsie Roll. Oh. I sway to the left, I sway to the right, from cheek to cheek, and I'll tell you why. Not only are you burning calories, but you never ever get a big red ring. That's why big fat guys who can't use the exercise can have some fun when they hit the mambo movement number 2. Hey, look at me, Alan. I'm doing the mambo. Hey, well, come on, do it. It looks like a whale in heat. Get up and stop it. Get out.
10:03 at 560 WQAM. Got to get a little voice back today. How do you like that, huh? Oh. A little bit. It's coming back. So what did I just hear? That Pavel Bure isn't playing today? Is that what I just heard?
Uh-huh.
Well, who cares? Yeah, I mean, we'd like to see him out there. What a dumb call that was right there at the end again. What a stupid, idiotic, stupid call.
Stupid, idiotic
call. Yeah.
Stupid, idiotic
caller. God. Just the worst. Oh, yeah, his malingering, you know. First of all, if anybody knows anything about a groin pull, that guy's probably pulling it right now or trying to. They're chronic. They're like some of the callers on talk radio. They're chronic. And if you come back too soon, well, you re-injure it again and you're out again for weeks and weeks. That's the way they work, okay? Just relax. They're playing fine. They're winning without him. And just show up tonight and stop looking for excuses already. They're hot as a pistol. Okay, well, here's one excuse. They're playing Calgary. It's a pretty boring team, although they got our buddy Billy Lindsay's playing for Calgary. How you doing, Billy? And they got Valerie Bure. There'll be one Bure on the ice tonight, his brother. Anybody know who that is?
No.
Number 8. And there you go. But it's only Calgary. That's true. Not very exciting. Not very appetizing opposition. 5,500 empty seats for the game tonight so far. That's what it says in the paper, and it must be right. So anyway, guess who got canned? Here's a clue. Oh, not her. No, not her. Her producer, Larry, who has to be the scapegoat for the fact she said Brook on the air the other day. That Brooking parking lot or something like that. Which, by the way, thank you to whoever sent to our voicemail the tape of that with the actual original F in it, which maybe we'll play someday when we get around to bleeping it. But anyway, just amazing the number of people who work on the inside over there who hate that whole operation like poison. Cheap channel, they're calling it now. Cheap channel. So anyway, this guy, Larry, as I predicted yesterday, nice going again, Neil.
Neil, God.
I guess it didn't take too much ingenuity to figure out when you open up a mouth like that in a newspaper and you're just a goddamn funky producer and she's looking to noosify your ass anyway. Isn't that what she's doing, noosifying him? At any rate, she noosified him because he's out. He's fired. He's canned. Nice going, Larry. He said she's a talentless, what was the term? I forget exactly what the term was, but on the air, I guess he called Rick and Suds and said she was a talentless, psychotic bitch, something like that. And I think, so after hearing that, I went back and I grabbed the last trend in the Arbitron ratings here, which will have a new rating book this Monday, by the way, at 11:30 in the morning for the summer book. She's taken, now the last trend, May, June, and July in the afternoon on a 50,000-watt radio station, she took the formerly pretty decent Rick and Suds numbers in the threes, whatever they were, down to a 1 point. Oh! But now in the latest one, June, July, and August, it's down to a 0.9. Pretty amusing number. And I'm here to predict that come Monday, when the entire summer book comes down, it's going to go even lower again.
Oh!
Wow. How do you like that? Look at these average quarter hours. She's got 25 to 54, which is our men and women. That's our target demo for anybody that cares. 3,300 people. 33, that's 50,000 watts. That's not even one person per watt. It's not even one person per 10 watts. How do you like that? What? Exactly. Jesus Christ, Brooke, why don't you get the message, honey? Go drive that diesel truck again. Don't quit your night job, whatever the hell that is. Maybe you ought to move up the dial a little bit, or down to a waxy. Get out that big ball of wax again. Good God Almighty. Anyway, a special hello to Joe Cruzy, who I understand is my number one fan out there and wants a big kiss or whatever like that. And I should mention that my good friend Tracy Neely is a goddess. Now, God, do I love Tracy. Do I love her or what? Comes to my house yesterday and brings me the CD that I've been scouring the world for, which I'm going to play a little bit later on, by the way, whether you like it or not. And you probably won't, but I don't care. I'm obsessed with this record. And I'm probably the only person in America who's, number one, heard it, and number two, seen the video. How do you like it? Not just in South Florida, but in America. Well, whoopity-doo. Good for you, Mr. Big Shot. Well, bravo, all-stars. Let the music heal your soul. With the Backstreet Boys, Mr. President, NSYNC, Squeezer, Blumchen, RNG, Gill, Touche, The Boys, The Moffats, Scooter, and little ugly Aaron Carter. How do you like that? All those groups on there, a big, massive production. All these groups from Europe, from Sweden and Germany and the U.S. and Canada. And for some reason, I guess because the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were on the same thing there, and maybe there was a little conflict there perhaps, since they hate each other like poison. But it's never really gotten released like on a massive level, but it's a great song. And thank you, Tracy. God, it's really something. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something where you set out to get something, and there you got it. You got your hands on it. By the way, speaking of having your hands on it, I got my hands on something right now that makes me want to puke. As a kid, my idol, my absolute idol for years and years and years, one of the funniest people ever on television, maybe the best show that was ever on TV, Steve Allen. But you know, when you get old and you become senile, and when you live in the past, and you lose touch, when you lose grasp with reality, a lot of bad things happen. And unfortunately, Steve has gone bananas. He's like, yeah, kind of like that. And now, of all people, here is a guy who's the leading this crusade. He's like a half a step away from Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell and all these other right-wing religious nuts. He's basically in the same category. And if you look on page 5E in the Herald today, opposite the radio TV page, here's a full-page ad again. This thing just goes on and never stops, this crusade of his. Parents, grandparents, families, this is for you. TV is leading children down a moral sewer. How you and I can stop it. And I'll get into the whole thing, but it makes me nauseous because it's, number one, it's so false, and number two, it has to do with censorship, and number three, it has to do again with taking people off the hook for being responsible for their own choices and their kids' choices. If you don't want your kids to watch whatever programs you don't like, don't let them watch. Very simple. That's the way it always used to be. But now with Steve Allen, no, he's Mr. Censorship now. And let's urge all the sponsors to stop supporting those TV programs that are loaded with sex and violence and filth and disgust and all these horrible things. Because like I pointed out a couple of weeks ago, if you're living on the west side of the Detroit River, on the west side of the Ambassador Bridge, and you're watching those shows, you're going to do a lot of violent things. But if you live on the east side, like in Windsor, Ontario, they don't have the same effect. We can't figure that out yet. You know what I'm saying, Steve? Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the Greg Reed thing. He's got his hand in his finger in his head looking to fill that hole. What a shame. What a sad, sad thing to see a guy that used to be so brilliant just absolutely losing his marbles. Mr. Morality. 10 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
Okay.
Your heart is dirty.
UAM is not a happy place.
No.
It's a goddamn crappy place.
Yeah.
Where everybody hates the sight of your face.
Oh.
UAM is not a happy place. It's a sinking big disgrace. UAM is not a happy place. Jock worshippers who love OJ, backstabbing repro pink. The equipment's always great. It's a hot and smarmy place. QAM is not a happy place. A real depressing place. QAM is not a happy place.
Okay, calm down. 10:15 at 560 WQAM. We got. I don't understand. Is this going to be a weekly thing? Do you think? How do you spell that? With two E's or an E and an A? This deal with Hank and Bifo and Eddie the K, the GA show out there at Calder every Thursday and Friday. Is that going to be weekly? Do you think? Because maybe there's some sponsorship involved and they're sucking up some extra money. I'm driving home yesterday and I'm hearing Eddie K going on about, oh, gee, I need the 10 here in my bet 3, but hell, he's got the lead, but here comes the 9, and the 10 is puking, and here comes the 9 on the outside. Oh, gee. Are we going to be doing that again every Thursday and Friday? Oh, my God. Hey, you better leave that Brook on there a long time, Petey. I'll tell you that right now. Jesus Christ, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, before I go back to the Steve Allen thing, you know, that guy that called there right at the end of the worst team about Pavel Bure and about, he is so typical of what's wrong with his town. Negative. Team is off to a great start. They've played 7 games. They've won 5. They've tied when they've only lost 1 game. They're in first place in their division. They got 11 points. They're kicking ass. They're playing outstanding. Their goaltending is fantastic. Robbie Niedermayer's even playing good. What does this guy want? What does this man want? But this town is just loaded with sour, negative people just like that guy. Just like the Dolphin thing, which I don't want to talk about that. But, you know, granted, they squeezed off the hook and Marino's injured and they got all this crap going on, Jimmy and Danny and Danny and Jimmy. They've won 4 out of 5 in a very mediocre league. 95% of the teams in the league would be, kiss your ass to be 4-1 at this point. But what do you hear on these this radio station from these people? And you wonder why this little girl writes this thing in the paper yesterday, which, no, I didn't forget about it. Jenny? Yeah, before I get back to Steve Allen, that piece of turd. Isn't that pathetic? Somebody that you admired for so many years. I mean, he had the best show that was ever on TV. With Don Knotts and Louis Nye. And, I mean, just hysterically funny people. Tom Poston. It was all live. It was spontaneous. They would crack up. They would lose it. It was just a great show. And instead of just vanishing into the woodwork, like Jack Parr. Do we hear from Jack Parr anymore?
No.
Of course, if you've seen him lately, you'd understand why. He's about 100 years old and he looks really bad. But nevertheless, he did his thing. He made his money. He was famous. He entertained a lot of people. He had a great, maybe the best all night, the Tonight Show. And he went off and did his thing. That was it. He's off eating Wheatina or something like that. Something soft. Why can't people do that? Why does Steve Allen, with all of his millions and millions and millions of dollars and his very plastic wife, Jane Meadows, why can't they just go off and, leave everybody alone and let people make their own goddamn choices? No, that's not satisfactory now. In his waning years, in his senility, in his twilight, he must save us from ourselves. He's going to save America's youth from the evil that is television. It's a joke, like the call I had the other day. Oh, did you know that in Chicago Hope they said the SH, oh, wow. Woo! Heavy duty. When are you going to grow up, America? Is it ever going to happen?
No.
You turn on the CBC, we always think of the Canadians as being, nice, but a little bit stuffy. Stuffy. That's a good word from the general stereotype we have of the English-speaking Canadians. But the fact is, you turn on the CBC, and there are a lot of shows on there. Documentaries, whatever the hell they are. And you hear the SH and FU, all the words are on there. Nobody has a nervous breakdown. Nobody even talks about it. There's not even a debate about it. And nobody calls up any talk shows in Canada and says, oh, gee, did you see on Chicago Hope they said the SH word? Wow, aren't we making progress, huh?
Yeah.
We're making progress. Wow. Isn't that great? They said crap on the air, on television. Jesus Christ. And you wonder why people are into all this religious bullcrap and all this mumbo-jumbo and hocus-pocus and so easily led down the garden path? I think there's a 4-letter word that you can say that's a lot more dangerous than the FU and the SH and all those other 4-letter words, and that's dumb, D-U-M-B. How do you spell D-U-M-M? Yeah, D-U-M-M. Dumb. That's the biggest problem in America. Dumb. But anyway, here's a not-so-dumb, very bright little girl, Jenny Lobaz, who writes a commentary in yesterday's Sun Sentinel. She's a student at the Dreyfus School of Arts in West Palm Beach. She says, just another day in paradise, and I want out. Ever since I reached the age of reason, 13, I have loudly declared that when I grow up, I'm moving out of state, says Jenny.
Oh!
I don't go to the beach. I abhor palm trees. Tourists annoy me. I'm not fond of theme parks, and I don't wear shorts. Florida's not my cup of tea. My parents have tried to convince me otherwise. Tactic 1, appeal to guilt. But we'll never see you, my mother tells me. At least get married in Florida, my father pleads. Answer, I'm not convinced. That's why God invented airplanes and long distance. Tactic 2, appeal to laziness. Just wait till your first blizzard. It's no fun shoveling the driveway at 30 below, they tell me. Answer, I need the exercise. Besides, that's why God invented hot chocolate. Tactic 3, appeal to poverty. Cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. Answer, does this mean they actually have high enough taxes to support schools without relying on the lottery? Besides, that's why God invented higher salaries. What brings this all up is my current state. Flooded into my neighborhood, Hurricane Irene, a supposedly wimpy Category 1 hurricane, decided that my dad's charming village of Wellington would be much more attractive under 15 feet of water. It wouldn't be so bad if only I hadn't just unpacked all of my belongings boxed up in anticipation of almost Hurricane Floyd a couple of weeks ago. We also talked our neighbors into putting plywood up on our windows and sliding glass doors, so this little sun shower has delayed the much-anticipated taking down of the plywood. I can't exactly pinpoint just why I dislike Florida so much. Perhaps it's because instead of coming here the traditional way, moving from New York, I was born here, suffering from snow envy. It might be because my fair skin just doesn't tan, and I'm sick of looking like a melanin-deprived ghost next to my bathing beauty friends. Then again, chances are it stems from my fifth-grade visit to Washington, D.C., with a safety patrol when I glanced around me and exclaimed, so this is what a real city looks like. Granted, there are some benefits to living in Florida. The stellar schools, our compassionate and boyishly good-looking governor, the superb Department of Transportation, which always completes highway work on time. I mean, planned communities are so superior to honest-to-God neighborhoods. I can't believe the rest of the country hasn't caught on to the houses surrounding a golf course phenomenon. Sorry, missing work today because I can't leave the neighborhood is making me a little testy. Still, it's not all bad. I mean, it's kind of cute to watch our neighbors splash around the bacteria and gator-infested water. Those over-flowing drainage canals aren't exactly the Atlantic, but at least we're now we have waterfront property. Not to mention the folk jet skiing down the street. That's just cool. Somehow I'll just have to tear myself away from this retirement heaven of a state. I'm ready to take on the blizzards. I'll put up with the people who refer to soda as pop. I'll even live with orange juice from concentrate. I just want to see the leaves change colors once or twice, okay? My exodus from Florida is now scheduled at 10 months and counting. I might even miss it here, but hey, I'm only a plane ride away. See you during spring break. What a great column there by a 13-year-old little girl, Jenny Lobaz, who lives in West Palm and goes to the Dreyfus School of Arts. God bless you, Jenny. You got it right on. The greatest line in that article is, God, this is what a real city looks like. This is what a real city looks like, with real living and breathing people. And not most of the people over the age of 100, wearing those outfits, those silly lemon and lime pants, with those silly caps. And then those little hats that look like they're ready to catch those rain catchers, you know? Oh, yeah, the rain catchers. Oh, my God. Nice going there, Jenny. Thank God for you. You give me hope that there's a hope for the future. You and Sabrina, George's little girl. She can't say that here either. There you go. Well, this isn't the place for young people. All you young people, that's my message to you. Get out of here as soon as the law allows, as soon as you're capable of doing it. Find out what the real world is all about, because this definitely is not it. This ain't it. Oh, there he goes again. Not on a half hour yet. He's tearing it down. He's making all that money. Yeah, screw you, okay? I'll say whatever the hell I want, and that's why you're listening, okay? Don't give me that song and a dance. I'll have to come on and lie and pretend, oh, it's just so wonderful here. It's wonderful, yeah. It could be. Could be wonderful. I like the mild weather. But the people here, wow. Just like Hyman Roth said, the people here, yeah, that's what he said, something like that. Are the most unbelievable people. That's something like that is what he said. Hyman Roth. Here's a call in Cooper City. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I got to tell you, I had a radio accident about 2 weeks ago.
Yes?
I'm listening to public radio. Okay, they had Leary.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They had what?
They had Leary from Monty Python, I believe.
Leary?
Okay, the guy who sings,
Dennis Leary?
yeah, him.
He's not from Monty Python.
He's not?
No.
Okay, well, the guy who sings the Wonderful
The
Life
asshole
thing,
song, yeah.
okay, and he had the entire word, the whole SH word, and this was on tape.
Right.
Okay, so they never bleeped it out once.
On public radio.
On public
Well, yeah,
right.
but see, that's public radio.
On public radio.
It's also like on public television. If they're showing like a National Geographic special, then you can see naked breasts of Aborigine tribes in, wherever.
And that's why we all watched as kids. That's
right, that's right.
I got to tell you, Neil, I know so many closet Neelies.
Right.
I would spend half an hour calling them all douchebags. So everybody who knows me and hears me, you're all douchebags.
Okay. Yeah, they said crap on pubic radio. That's okay. I mean, the people in this country who are really impressed and got all whipped up to a frenzy because they said SH happens on Chicago Hope. Well, what level does that reduce you to? I mean, even the sandbox would be a compliment if you're at that level. You're not ready for the sandbox yet. You're not ready for QAM yet. Impressed because they said crap on Chicago Hope. Wow, did you hear that? They said crap. Shh, don't say it again. Not to mention the music, of course. We have to have radio edits in America. Radio edits. In other countries, Canada, Western Europe, they play every word, F-U-S-H, every word that's ever been invented. If that's in the lyrics, it's part of the song. People aren't swooning. People aren't killing each other because of lyrics in songs or because somebody said crap on Chicago Hope. I know that Steve Allen may be shocked to hear that, but it's the goddamn truth, dummy. You senile old fart, you. God, am I embarrassed. I want to take it back. I never liked him anyway. 1026 at 560 WQAM.
I've got 2 sets of lips.
This is Don Schuler, inviting you to join me for a fine game of golf at the Don Schuler Dead Celebrity Golf Tournaments, or whatever it is. Featuring all your favorite celebrities like Jackie Gleason, Joe DiMaggio, Ben Hogan, Colonel Hogan, Hoagie Carmichael, Aldo Ray, Frankie Faye, Frank Sutton, Meredith Wilson, Big Wilson, Joe Kearns and Joan Alexander, my favorite, Belle Barth, Frank Barth, Naomi Pitlick, Jack Guilford, Jack Webb, Chick Webb, and Webb Pierce, Herschel Bernardi, Vince Lombardi, and William Lund, Abe Lincoln, Abe Burrows, and, of course, no golf tournament would be complete without Robert Q. Lewis. It's easy to find. What you got to do is head south on the Palmetto and make a left at the burning 79 Buick. I'll see you there, or whatever.
1032 at 560. Speaking of negative, by the way, my good close personal friend Jiggs McDonald, new voice of the Panthers here on QAM, who's 1,000 times better than the moron we had on before, obviously. He was a little bit disturbed because yesterday morning, I guess, the morning crew, instead of talking sports, instead of discussing all the different things that are going on, they got to pick on Jiggs, just because Geldy still got a bone up his nose because he didn't get the play-by-play job, Don't be picking on Jiggs, okay? He's a great guy.
Here's a chance for Bill Stewart, chasing the puck, walks in and goal, he scores! Bill Stewart, Sam Stewart has given the Panthers a 4-1 lead.
Exactly, whatever his goddamn name is. Do we care what his name is?
No.
As a matter of fact, do the Panther fans know Cam Stewart from Bill Stewart?
No.
So what difference does it make? Quit picking on my good buddy, what's his name? Jiggs. Christ. So anyway, getting back to the Steve Allen thing, here's a full page. Do you know how much it costs for a full page ad in the Herald? It used to be $5,000. It's got to be a lot more than that now. And then, of course, there's a coupon in the bottom right-hand corner asking for you to subsidize this crap. Oh, yes, Steve, I want to be counted as one who agrees that TV is leading us down a moral sewer. I think it's unconscionable for fine companies to use their ad dollars to send TV filth, vulgarity, coarse humor, premarital sex situations, violence, killing. He's sounding like Dan Quayle now. Premarital sex situations. I hate to break the news to you, but like in Spain, and in Netherlands, and in, I guess, several of the countries in Western Europe. But I do know I saw it in Spain. I talked about this on over-the-air TV. Over-the-air TV, late at night, they have porno movies. They're doing it. Are they killing each other in Spain?
No.
Do they have a real serious violence and crime problem?
No.
Are they raping each other in the street?
No.
I mean, that's a lot of bull, if you ask me. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that the kind of pablum that the American public, too many millions and millions of people buy into, because, again, it's apple pie and goody. Oh, yeah, goody, goody, goody. If we could just all be goody, goody. There are no goody, goody people, okay? Maybe Steve and Jane Meadows. I mean, if you were married to her, you'd probably be goody, goody, too, you know. You'd sit in the corner going, like that most of the day. Married to a prissy, haughty bitch like that. But what kind of crap is this ad? Since television started, around 1,000 studies, reports, etc., concerning the impact of TV violence have been published. The National Institute of Mental Health and 7 more national organizations say there is overwhelming evidence that violent entertainment causes violent behavior, but only west of the Detroit River and south of Lake Ontario and west of Lake Erie. An ABC network study found 22 to 34% of young felons in prison for violent crimes said they had consciously imitated crime techniques learned from watching television programs. Homicide rates doubled in 10 to 15 years after TV was first introduced into specific areas of the U.S. and Canada. Canada, too? No. Let me go back to the stat that I gave you the other day. 1998, they had 41 murders in the first 10 months of the year in Toronto, city of 4 to 5 million people. This year, in the first almost 10 months, they've had 38 murders. Now, Buffalo, New York, which is, about 100 miles away, has 1 million people, about a quarter of the size or less than Toronto. I don't have the statistics, but I would bet a lot of money, a lot of somebody's money, that they've had a lot more than 38 murders in Buffalo already this year. You can go to the bank on it. It's not even a contest. Do they get the same television programs?
Uh-huh.
Do they have the same video games?
Uh-huh.
They listen to the same music?
Uh-huh.
They all see Jerry Springer?
Uh-huh.
What is this man talking about? He's talking crap. Nobody goes out and kills somebody because they saw something on TV. Whether it was South Park or whether it was, nobody goes out and says crap because they saw somebody say it on Chicago Hope. I mean, this ad, these are the rantings of a madman. And here's a guy who's lending his popularity. Thank God most of today's generation hasn't got any idea who Steve Allen is. So they're looking at the picture of this old fossil here, this wrinkled up old fossil, saying, who the hell is that? Steve Allen? Who's that? What team did he play for? Yeah. What church is he? Is he with that Dr. Kennedy guy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A full-page ad of crap. I'm embarrassed for you, Steve Allen. I'm embarrassed for America that this country refuses to grow up. Because one thing America wants a hell of a lot more is a lot more sex on television. That's why people were watching those hot shows on MTV for a while before they put all those neurotic teenagers on and everybody, including me, stopped watching. That's why Tens is the only show and has been the only show on Whammy that had any audience at all because they got almost naked, hot-looking young people on there. What's wrong with looking at good-looking people? How come it is that people in the jungle, before there was television, people were horny? The cavemen, they were horny. If they weren't horny, we wouldn't be here today. But somehow the kids, they're all whipped up into a psychotic frenzy. Their adolescent psychosis is just out of control. Their testosterone level is rising to the moon because of television programs, because they're watching Chicago Hope and Guiding Light and Oprah Winfrey. I think maybe Oprah's the cause for a lot of murders. I know that. It's enough to make me want to go out and kill somebody seeing that bitch, knowing that she's making billions of dollars, not an ounce of talent in that disgusting fat body. I got a fat body too, Oprah, but at least I got some talent. I got a brain. Here's Lauderhill. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, I have to call. I've been trying to get a hold in a couple days. People are calling in about this stadium for the Marlins.
What stadium is that?
Exactly.
You mean,
that's my opinion.
You mean the one that's never going to be built?
Yes, and that's what I hope. Because you know
that
what?
That must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah.
If they're going to raise my taxes,
no.
I want to pay for better schools.
Right.
As it is, they raise my taxes to pay for a damn prisoner in jail. Or they raise my taxes to pay for a stadium. Please, put
They raise your taxes so we can put a bunch of marijuana smokers in jail. How do you like that?
Exactly. Let's pay for something that counts.
F&A, baby.
God, I mean, it makes me sick when I hear people call and ask for this kind of stuff. I want my money to go to something useful. You want the same, correct?
God bless you, pal.
Have a good day.
And I'll pray for us.
Thank you.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai. Pavel Bure, Puri HaGofen. Let's say a prayer that we can finally convince these bozos up there. We want the tax money, every dime of it, going to schools and things that are important and roads and the quality of life, if I can use that goddamn commie pinko term that the right-wingers are always getting psychotic. Oh, that's a code. That's code. Yeah, it's a code for not living like a bunch of animals. That's what it's code for. Building another goddamn stadium. We got thousands of empty seats we're going to have in that beautiful arena. And isn't it interesting, by the way? What an interesting turn of events, how the worm turns. Wayne Hypinga, a couple of years ago, when they were threatening to take the Panthers and move them out of town to Nashville or wherever the hell they were going to go with a banjo on their knee, then all of a sudden he was all in favor of taxes. Oh, yeah, it's a tourist tax, a hotel tax. All in favor of that to build him that $200 million arena. Now that John Henry wants to build this goddamn thing, now all of a sudden Wayne has seen the light. Oh, no, we're just against taxes. It's not the fact that he wants it on auto rental companies, which happens to be one of Auto Nation's big businesses. No, it's just we're against more taxes, is what Wayne's people are saying. And we're going,
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah. So even though we happen to be on the same side with Wayne, believe me, it's not for the right reasons. Okay, Baldy? You pockmarked geek? Yeah, when it was for his own benefit and his own interest, and he could make a fortune, which he is, in the Mac arena, then he loved taxes. And now that he sold this guy a pig and a poke, now John Henry's finding out what it's like doing business with Baldy. Nice going, John. All I can say is,
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
You are, man. Standing there in the middle of an empty stadium on the front page of the newspapers, looking around to find a customer. Anybody here? Anybody in the ballpark? Come on, find me somebody. Anybody here?
No.
Oh. Boy, he sure got you by the short hairs, John. Thank God you got all of Greg Reed's money, though. 20 before 11 at 560 WQAM.
It just felt like a prick.
All right.
The show is great. It's got lots of hate. Jerry Springer we love so dear. There's one thing we know. People come to blows. Lady Towns' best friend here is queer. And the chance will fly when your girlfriend is a guy and she's bigger than you down there. When the brawl breaks out, make sure you turn and shout and drag someone round by the hair. Oh, we want to hit there's a fornication, and women just have too much skin. The Springer Show's alright for fighting, get a few punches in. This over is a dame who's got half a brain, and her show really fights. The Springer Show's alright for fighting, the Springer Show's alright, alright, alright.
Alright.
Springer Show, Springer Show, Springer Show, the Springer Show, Springer Show, Springer Show, Springer Show, Springer Show, Springer Show, it's alright. The Springer Show, Springer Show.
Let me tell you what I think of the Jerry Springer Show. I would put it about 600 steps below professional wrestling. And you know something? I don't watch it. I saw it once. And you know the thing that amazed me about it the most is the fact that there are actually people who watch it more than once. And what's even more amazing like that, just like professional wrestling, there are millions of idiotic people out there who watch it and believe that it's real. They believe that it's real, that people actually come on television to make these desperate announcements and revelations to their mates, to their loved ones, to their friends, in front of millions of people, and get into fistfights at the drop of a hat. And you know what? I don't watch it. Is it on in Canada?
Uh-huh.
Is it on in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam?
Uh-huh.
Is it on in Italy?
Uh-huh.
Is it on all over the world?
Uh-huh.
And are the people in the rest of these countries killing each other because they watch Jerry Springer?
No.
No. I mean, you talk about a country that looks for excuses, baby. Oh, the dog done it, like John Bonet. I'm positive the dog done it. We know that John and Patsy couldn't have done it now. And then Burke, he didn't do it because he was asleep, even though he was on the phone in the back when she called. But, well, he was sleepwalking and talking. I don't know. The dog done it. Must have been, or else it was a suicide. Nobody takes responsibility for anything in this country. Everything just happened. All bad things happen by osmosis, or else it's TV's fault.
Oh, man.
There's another example. We don't want to bring him up again today. He didn't do it. Did he do it?
No.
No. I think again. Remember there was that dog wailing and howling, and all the neighbors heard? The dog done it there, too. Killed Nicole and Ron. Dog done it. Here's a fax from Tom T. in Coconut Creek. I know when I get up in the morning, I look in one of my rooms in the house. Oh, I know the dog done it. Little dog. Oh, yeah. Boy, I liked him so much those 2 days he was at the vet. God, he was great. Yeah, I love him when he's at the vet. Tom T. in Coconut Creek writes, no matter where you drive in South Florida, it's near impossible to miss seeing those roadside markers of death. Since when has it become acceptable or legal to erect such a roadside shrine to a friend or relative who's died in an accident? I think Tom's got an excellent point, by the way. I'm sick and tired of that crap. Not that I'm insensitive to people who die, but as Tom points out, they have these amazing places called cemeteries. These amazing things called graves, tombstones, stuff like that. He says a reasonable amount of time for roadside memorials, maybe up until the funeral, when afterwards is usually a grave in a cemetery. But far too often these memorials go on for weeks, months, and even years. Case in point, there's an unusually large memorial in Boca on West Palmetto Park Road that's been there for at least 2 to 3 years. It has 4 crosses and 1 Star of David.
Oy!
Each stands about 4 feet tall and includes lights, fresh flowers, and pictures. Why doesn't the family move this to where it belongs? The roadside and for sure public land isn't the place, writes Tom T. in Coconut Creek. Right on, Tom.
Oh.
Why is it that everybody has to do all their mourning and all their religious stuff, and they got to like wear it on their sleeve, push it out there in public in front of your face? It doesn't belong there. It's not that we don't sympathize with them, or at least I sure do, but it doesn't belong out there on the highway, on the roadside. What is that going to solve? What does that accomplish? In addition to which, I thought that if God decided it was their time, what are we mourning about? Shouldn't we be celebrating instead of mourning? If God decided they're in a better place, as all the religious folks would say, or are so much better than I am, they're in a better place now. I guess compared to South Florida, maybe. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
I was just wanting to get back a little bit to what you were saying before about television and music and all that, and how people always lose their mind and say that kids are going to go crazy if they listen to certain kinds of music.
I'll tell you one thing, more than 45 minutes a day at TV, every kid in America is going to be going, just like that. That's what Steve Allen says.
Because, kids never thought about doing drugs or having sex before they heard it on a song or on TV or anything like that. Also, I was wondering if you're listening to the first team at all this morning.
No, just that last call from that asshole knocking Pavel Bure, and he's just an idiotic call, another negative guy.
Well, Billy Lindsay was on this morning.
Oh, really?
And he was saying he might take a run at Robbie Niedermeyer tonight, which would be a beautiful thing to see. He said they might have to
keep him on his toes a little bit, Billy. Nice going, sweetheart.
He said he might have to give a couple guys a check and let them know he's back in town.
By the way, it was nice to see Eddie Special Ed the other night with Vancouver fall on his ass a couple of times. Once he ran into his own teammate, and then he gave Ray Whitney a cheap shot in the head, which I didn't like at all, by the way. We'll get you for that, Eddie.
Oh, he's a bum.
He's a piece of crap. He's a dummy.
Well, pretty much amount of material, Neil, but you wouldn't happen to have any tickets to the game tonight, would you?
Yeah, I sure do. A pair of my own, and have a great day. This guy, I guess, missed a message. I will never, ever, in fact, I hope that the nephew's listening too, I will never, ever, ever give anything away on this program again. Bet your life on it. Depend on it. I'll leave that to Power 96, okay? To buy the audience with their $2,000 a week or whatever they're giving away. Well, we can't even get a phone. We can't even get that. Where's that 800 number, by the way? Anybody have any information? See, if we had a real program director instead of a silly woman that cries in a room over here, I'd have some information about these things. Give me a date. Give me a ballpark. When's that toll-free number coming in? Where are those keychains? Even the Center One thing. What's the date today? 22nd of October. Almost the whole month is gone. And now we got the new and improved, the CDs in the stores in Specs, which is great. We appreciate their Specs is great. They're fantastic. I apologize to the audience and to them that this year's deal has gotten so screwed up so far. Did I mention Carol yet today, by the way, from Center One? Oh, I better start. Because I would like to see those keychains with little buttons, that make those great sounds. Yeah, I'd like to see what they look like. Because I want to go on here and talk about them. I want to be sure that we have them Tuesday night at Pizza Loft between 6 and 8 p.m. this coming Tuesday, along with the CDs and cassettes, so we can raise a lot of money for Center One and really get this thing going now and catch up for lost time. It's not that I'm trying to be a hard ass or asking for things that are unreasonable. It's just that I would like to have this stuff so that when I can talk about it, it makes some sense. But I realize I'm out of control. I understand. Just being a prick again. Here's Homestead. Hello.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yes, sir. Great.
Two things. I happened to walk out front this morning when the recycle truck BFI came.
Right.
And I assume that Wayne is still involved with BFI. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir. He sure is.
Well, I guarantee you that truck, and I helped the guy throw the crap in the truck, that was a garbage truck. That is not going to any recycle place. That is going to a garbage dump.
Yeah.
So Sierra Club somebody needs to get involved in that crap. Okay. You got it right. Number two, thank you very much for mentioning the Steve Allen thing, because I didn't even see it in the paper until you mentioned it.
Full-page ad, 5F in the Herald today.
Well, I grew up in the era of outrageous TV, and if I'm not incorrect, Steve Allen and Ernie Kovacs pioneered outrageous television.
Right. I mean, everything is relative, and in their time, it was outrageous. It was
exactly
off the wall. It was. In fact, I remember one time, Ernie Kovacs, even though we didn't see it on camera, there was a stark naked woman. He opened up the door.
Yes.
He used to have that skit that he used to do where
Absolutely.
he was the postman. He opened up the door, and he cracked up and lost it. And the reason he lost it is there was a stark naked broad standing there inside the, which we didn't see on camera, but that was why he lost it.
You're absolutely correct, sir.
Right.
And that was the beginning of television as we know it today, which sucks, and I'm sorry to say it. But Steve Allen had no right to start bemoaning where television is going.
He wants to drag us back into the 50s, and even though I enjoyed the 50s very much, it's not the 50s anymore, and we're not going to go backward. We're going to go forward. We have to grow up someday. We can't continue living like Ozzie and Harriet. That's not the real world.
You're absolutely correct, sir. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention.
And God bless you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll pray for you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
I'll pray for all of us. We'll need it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. You see, there is something wrong with television. You know what? There's only one thing wrong with television. Most of it sucks. That's the only thing wrong with television. It's got the potential is unlimited. One of the greatest inventions in the history of mankind. One of the most entertaining inventions in history. But most of the programming blows. That's why the network audience is dwindling and dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, because more and more people are looking for different kinds of entertainment. Maybe a little bit more adult entertainment. Maybe something a little bit less than, Ozzie and Harriet and My Three Sons and stuff like that. Don't knock My Three Sons down, Grady. Oh, I'm sorry. But that's why, so long as they're constrained by the limits of the FCC and over-the-air network television, people are going to continue looking for alternatives. When people went out years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, and they started buying the big satellite dishes, and for people who have big dishes, which I also have one, but I don't, you know what the biggest thing that they subscribe to on the big dish is? Porno. How do you like that? The same stuff, porno movies that comes over the air in Europe on over-the-air television, and people are watching it of all ages, by the way. I'm sure that there's plenty of adolescents watching that stuff. Are they having a nervous breakdown?
No.
Are they raping women in the streets?
No.
Are they going out and killing people?
No.
Always blaming, it's sex, it's that, those words. They said crap on Chicago Hope, what's going to happen now? And then that line in there about, he sounds just like Dan Quayle. Where is that one line he's talking, premarital sex situations. How do you like that? People are having sex before they get married. How do you like that? Oh my God. Even teenagers are having sex on television, which we know could never really happen. Thank you, Steve. God bless you.
This is 560 QAM.
All right.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. There's something wrong with our TV. Our program director is upset.
Boy!
I asked him what was so upsetting, but he ran outside the studio instead. And then he cried.
wondering why no one ever talks to me. He was selling and scheduling, then he very will get in his sleep. Asking why won't anyone listen to me? And when we started laughing, he ran out of the studio hysterically.
It's 11:03. That's what he says. I'm crying over here. 11:03 at 560 WQAM. Hank Goldberg along with Ed Kaplan and Jeff Glifo at 2 this afternoon from Calder again. Are there going to be a Calder again this afternoon?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I got the 10. He's got the lead by 2, but he's puking. Here comes the 9 on the outside. Oh, gee, he's dying, that piece of dying crap. And they'll be doing that from 2 to 5 at Calder. And then we got the Jimmy Johnson We Could Be Really a Lot of Shot special show at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock, Josh Darrell will be on, killing an hour in there, as only he can do. At least it's not Donnie B. And then we got the Panthers and the Calgary Flames, 7 o'clock tonight. Pregame, game time, 7:30 from the Mac Arena. Lots of seats tonight, by the way. It's a Friday night. It's a boring town. Not much else going on, I'm sure of that. So unless you got a really hot engagement this evening, come out to the Mac Arena and watch the Panthers. They're red hot, baby. They're smoking. They're smoldering. And Bure will play tonight. Not Pavel Bure, his brother. But at any rate, in fact, they probably should have bought a big full-page ad in the paper. Bure will play tonight. These people wouldn't know that they're talking about Valerie Bure, his brother. They wouldn't know that. And they might have brought an extra 50, 60 people out there tonight. We'll see. We'll see if the real hockey fans show up there tonight or just the same schmoozers with their cell phones. That's what I'm going to be looking for tonight. I'm going to be scouring that crowd. I think I'll bring some binoculars. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Buenos dias, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I seldom agree with you, but you are so right on this. I'm so tired of hearing people use television for a scapegoat for every social failure and ill that we have out there.
Everything that goes on here, it's somebody else's fault.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to ask those people, people like Al Capone and Hitler and
TV did it.
And Jack the Ripper and the Marquis de Sade, the biggest pervert of all time.
Right.
Those people didn't have TV, and if you
Jerry Springer show did it.
Yeah. And if you go into Africa and you see how the Tutsis and the Hutus chop each other up with machetes,
Bye Tutsi, right?
And they never grew up with the Ninja Turtles.
Ever see a Tootsie Roll? I'm sorry.
So it's time we started taking responsibility for the real factors in society that are causing the problem.
Right.
Anyway, keep up the good work.
Okay, thanks. Someday I'll agree with me on something else. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Are these two? Oh, thank God. For just a second there, I thought 7 and 8 might be. We'll get to them. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Poor Beth Friedman, that Hollywood teacher from Silver Lakes Middle School. She got new problems, okay? Although, quite frankly, this isn't a new problem. This surfaced before, and I guess they're just getting around to filing a complaint. This is the same Beth Friedman was accused of having sex with that 13 or 14-year-old boy who's now 17, and you guys were calling in saying, oh, yeah, nice going, Eddie, or whatever his name was. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that if your 13-year-old kid came home from school and said, hey, Dad, I'm banging my teacher, she's 40, you wouldn't be too excited about it. You wouldn't say,
what she looked like.
Huh?
What she looked like. If she looked like that, I'd be real upset.
Like I said, not too good. You'd be real upset. At any rate, so now the new deal is she was charged yesterday with contributing to the delinquency of another minor, a 17-year-old Dania Beach boy. The boy's mother, Brenda Del Valle, filed a complaint with Hollywood police, accusing Friedman of giving her son beer and Xanax, a prescription drug used to treat anxiety and depression. Her attorney says, totally ridiculous. It's a second-degree misdemeanor charge, and we plan to plead not guilty on November 4 when we go before the judge. My client pleaded not guilty the first time. She'll plead not guilty this time. Maybe she could be teaching sex ed.
Uh-huh.
Not that we want to convict her here on the air, because God only knows what the real story is. There's a real bizarre, deal here that kind of like vanished into the woodwork about how they moved into the teacher. The whole family moved into her condo. Remember that? Something really bizarre with that family. Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have 3 things to discuss with you.
Yes, sir.
First is I just wanted to state my sadness at the passing of Gene Shepard. My first memory of listening to him was when in my parents' car at age 7, and I listened to him as long as I lived in New York. And he was a great monologist, and he told great stories, and it was always enthralling, and he had a lot of things to say, and it was nice to listen to him.
Yeah.
And the second thing is did you see the infomercial that the NRA is broadcasting?
No.
They've got a half-hour infomercial on where they have this woman actress, I think her name is Susan Howard, and she's on there, and she's talking about your constitutional right to have a gun, and it's almost like it's like a mantra. And she says, "We're 3 million strong, but we have to grow to protect our right to have a gun." You know, and it was scary. It was scary to see this, and it shows you how desperate they're becoming. Now they're trying to use every kind of mass marketing technique that they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're protecting our rights to kill each other.
Hopefully, they're losing ground.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They still got their hands deep into the pockets of all the politicians, all the way down to their knee.
Okay, and the third thing I wanted to bring up to you was: did you read the series in the Sun Sentinel about we're breeding killers in the ghetto?
No.
I'm in the car. I took it out and I read it, and one of the things that was stated by a local civil rights leader down here is I don't remember his name and I can't quote it exactly, but basically what he said was when you have illiterate teenage mothers breeding and children who are not cared for or about, and in a culture of ignorance, despair, and poverty, that they're breeding soulless children, and it's a frightening thing. The statistic is that
you don't think that's why we have all that rampant crime all over Latin America too, because they're overpopulated and none of those kids have any jobs and they're desperate and starving, do you, sir?
Oh no, it's a
maybe
frightening
you better tell
thing.
that to the Catholic Church, which a lot of these people listening to me right now are subsidizing every Sunday.
We're creating a dangerous underclass of soulless and
well, what is that soulless? Of desperate people, of ignorant, desperate, useless people.
And the statistic that they quoted, and they had a little graphic, is that the black males between the ages of 18 and 25 or something like that, the statistic was 7 times higher than any other demographic.
14 to 17, yes.
Oh, you saw it?
George saw it, yeah.
Okay. Of being shot, of being murdered by a gun.
Right.
And it's a scary thought to think that this entire generation of killers is out there, and it's being perpetuated by so many things, including the way that our generation put the welfare state together. I mean, like you said, forced sterilization or
there you go, forced sterilization. Just keep saying it, pal. Say a prayer for it. 10 minutes after 11 at QAM.
It's Friday, you bastard.
The following is a paid public service announcement from the International Rifle Association.
Let's face it, most of us will never be rich. Hell, we probably won't even be successful, and that's pretty damn depressing. But, as usual, with every problem, there is a solution. Hi, I'm Jim, and I'm here to tell you a little something about handguns. They scare the shit out of people and intimidate them into giving you whatever you want. That's right, handguns. Think about it. Need some cash? Rob a bank. Don't have enough money for beer? Pull up a convenience store. Take some chips and pretzels while you're at it. It's all free if you've got a handgun. Some son of a bitch cheating on your girlfriend? Kill him. The simple solution to life's complex problems. All you have to do is wait the 5 days for it, and happiness is just around the corner. Hell, if you don't want to wait the 5 days, who cares? buy the damn thing off the street. Just buy a lot of handguns. It's a great alternative to working problems out and can be considered a population controller. Yes, handguns. They just might make you famous.
Well, we are for population control. No question about that. 11:15 at 560 QM. I know I've said it a million times before. I'll say it just one more time. Sane people don't want to live in a society where everybody and their brother's walking around with a gun. Oh my God! And of course, the vast majority of people who believe that, they got nothing to say about it. They're not gonna write a letter. They're not gonna make a phone call. They don't make a peep. But you'll notice every time there's an argument about anything that has to do with gun control or we have another mass shooting, the newspapers and the magazines, the news magazines like Time and Newsweek, they're flooded. They're inundated with these letters. Millions of letters, all saying basically the same thing. All the NRA songbook all over again. Same old crap. Speaking of the same old crap, by the way, bump in the road for Trump. Former flak Chuck Jones, an ex-Marine with a foot fetish, is doing his best to derail Donald Trump's presidential race from jail. Jones, doing 1 to 4 years after having a sexual relationship with a high-heeled pumps he stole from client Marla Maples, wrote to the New York Post from prison in upstate New York. Most inmates here are members of one reform party or another, he says, and plan to vote for their hero, Trump. It's like a brotherhood of the con, he says, one con artist to another. The felon was compelled to take up his pen by the Donalds, claim that he's never been guilty of infidelity. I left my wife, but not for a younger woman. I ended up with a young woman, explained the real estate/casino tycoon. I didn't lie about it. But Jones says that's a lot of crap. As you and I both know, he says Trump had stashed Maples at the St. Moritz Hotel in January 1988, and they weren't baking cakes. I also used to drop Maples off at Trump Tower through 1988 and 89 whenever Ivana was out of town or in Atlantic City. Meanwhile, Trump's ploy of withholding a $1.5 million divorce payment to Maples after her threat to blab about what he's really like if he runs for office didn't fly. A Manhattan Supreme Court judge on Tuesday ordered him to pay up. Now, how do you like that? There's a guy who stands for nothing, who's never been elected dog catcher, who's an airhead with a lot of money, and who publicly threatens to blackmail his ex-wife that if she writes a tell-all book, he's not going to pay his alimony payment. And the judge says, oh, sorry, you got to pay up, okay? You got to
loan me $50.
The $1.5 million. Publicly threats, that's called blackmail, I think is the word that they use for it. Blackmail?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the media talk about him. And my good friend Jesse Ventura, see, this is what bothers me about Jesse, as much as I like a lot of the stuff that he says. How do you embrace a schlump like this? How does anybody seriously suggest that this man ought to be the president with his finger on the button? He's probably got his finger on it. Does that like kind of tie in with everything else we've been talking about?
Uh-huh.
I think so. President based on what? President Oprah. President Warren Beatty. President Schmendrick.
Yeah.
And then the Sun Sentinel today, as if that isn't bad enough, here's this editorial about Elizabeth Dole. Elizabeth Dole, dumber than a babbling brook. I mean, she comes across, she is the silliest, the most ridiculous. Just the way she speaks, she's such a silly person. Voters losing leadership options is the headline in this heart-wrenching, gut-twisting editorial in the Sun Sentinel today. Early dropouts create a shortage of candidates. Oh, yeah, we're losing Gary Bauer and Pat Buchanan jumped ship over to the Reform Party, those two Nazis. Dan Quayle. What's the guy, Kasich, that gets like 2 votes and then drops out every year? And what's his name from the one that runs every year also? From Tennessee?
Lyndon LaRouche.
No, worse than that. I can't even think of the guy's name. That's how obscure he is. This guy who really believes he's going to be president some way. Every year he's the first one to drop out, every 4 years. And who else did we lose? I said Dan Quayle. So basically you got George W., Steve Forbes, who of course has got no chance with that complexion and with that attitude and personality, a silly person, and John McCain, who's going to give George W. a run for his money, which may surprise a lot of people. So who the hell needs silly people like Elizabeth Dole and John Kasich and all these other people that have no chance anyway?
Lamar Alexander.
Lamar Alexander, thank you. Somebody knows. Hey, Lamar, maybe you should change your mind. Get back in there, baby. Somebody knows who you are, Lamar. I know Hedy Lamar. Oh, my God. What a bunch of simpletons, baby. Elizabeth Dole. I sure hope my husband doesn't run out of Viagra. Yeah, a silly person just to listen to her babbling like a babbling brook, like a simpleton, a silly person. And we're losing our options. Very perspicacious, very observant, Sun Sentinel. I'm glad you're on top of these things, baby. Here's Boca. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to bring my girlfriend over to your...
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to backstep for a minute to the Jenny Lopez article.
Yes.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is her third column in the Sun Sentinel.
Really?
And I think you may be misreading it. I don't think she's 13 because the first column she wrote was from the standpoint of being a checker at Publix. And
I see. Ever since I reached the age of reason, 13.
Right.
Well, whatever she is, she's still she's like 17 or 18, whatever she is.
Great column, nevertheless.
Yes,
absolutely
it is.
on target. But the first one was about how
that's the case. Then more power to her. And then that's the reason she doesn't. She says she's leaving in 10 months and counting, whatever.
Right. And the first column she wrote had to do with rude customers at the checkout.
Nice going, Jenny.
Absolutely. And the second thing is, again, my memory may fail me, but you were talking about Ernie Kovacs.
Right.
And the nude on the side of the set?
Maybe it was Soupy Sales.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It was Soupy Sales.
But it doesn't make any difference. It's still way back there in the early days of television, back in the early 50s.
The reason I call is because as a collector of outtakes and flubs, I was wondering if there was such a thing as an Ernie Kovacs like that, because I have the Soupy Sales, you know.
No, it's probably Soupy Sales.
And the last thing is that if you want to see a really good example of Gene Shepard, there's a movie called A Christmas Story.
Right.
Great movie.
Okay.
Thanks.
See ya. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Sorry about that, Jenny. She's not 13 anymore. She's almost old enough to get the hell out of here, and she's counting the days. Maybe we can mark the days off on a calendar together, Jenny. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? How about Jenny for president?
All right, there you go. I'm tired of my buddy Jesse there. He's too tight with Donald Trump.
We need her for president. Hey, Neil, two subjects.
I'll guarantee you, better than Elizabeth Dole.
Probably. Two subjects I want to talk about that I know you've been talking about all this week.
Yes.
I just flew back from San Antonio, and you know they're trying to pass a vote on building a new arena for the basketball team.
Spurs, yeah.
And their bait to the citizens is that if the arena deal goes through, they will create scholarships for the local kids. Does not say how many. Does not say for how many kids or for what school. Nothing. Just simply it will create additional scholarships.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Sure.
How about taking that money instead of just building the arena, build more schools
or have thousands of scholarships.
Exactly.
Right.
But nothing of that sort, just additional scholarships.
Every single one of these new buildings, including the Mac Arena over here, they got thousands of empty seats. They didn't need them in the first place. You watch when the Heat start the regular season in this new American Airlines Arena, they're having a bitch of a time selling season tickets. There's going to be thousands of empty seats for every game. They needed that arena like I need another hole in the head.
Yep. And not once in the few spots I heard on the radio did they mention that it was for the San Antonio Spurs. It was for multi-use, especially rodeo.
Oh, yeah.
They did not want to mention that.
Well, that's a way to hook them.
Yep. And then another, I got to commend the Herald on the series of the Miami International Airport.
Yes, sir.
They really went out of their way.
About time they did something good. I've been waiting 23 years for it.
Well, I've been working at the airport for 22 years, and it surprised me in this article on the Concourse H that they talked about how many millions in the cost overruns and the delays and everything. They never mentioned how many additional gates were built. Did you know not a single additional gate?
Not one.
It has the same amount of gates as it had 20 years ago.
Great.
Yep.
All right.
And I believe it.
But it sure does look pretty.
It's got 3 floors, but
it's sterile. There's absolutely nothing there, but it sure looks glitzy and pretty.
Exactly. It's used by Delta, US Air,
right,
and TWA. Delta, I think, has like 6 flights a day into Miami.
Yeah.
US Air has like 17, 18.
Well, that's worth $5.4 billion, don't you think?
Yeah. And I've counted, I think the most I've counted using the complete concourse has been 6 airplanes.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Go ahead, Alex. You're doing great.
Okay. Yeah, you're doing it, baby. Mayor Pinga. Remember the guy that called us about wanting to put his concession thing out by the stadium? Remember that poor guy? He was up in Palm Beach somewhere a few months ago. And he was told that if he wanted to get the concession, that he would have to grease the right palms and do business with the right companies, which he refused to do. And they said, no. I mean, this is not even the tip of the iceberg, okay? It's like a little tiny chip out of a big block of ice out of the North Pole, this thing about the airport. There is so much corruption and so many payoffs and so much palm greasing and so much crap going on in Dade County. And believe me, I have nothing but sympathy and empathy for those of you who live in Dade County. But don't do like that one guy tried to do yesterday and tell me, oh, Dade County is where it's at, baby. It's great. We love it. No, you don't. You're stuck there, and we feel sorry for you. I understand. You're stuck. 26 after 11 at 560 WQAM.
Enough of the sucking.
Riding along to the Gate Square dance, got a great big zipper in the back of my pants. Get off my horse at the old barn door, got my saddle turned around, I'm a-riding on the horn. Look inside, folks are dancing all around. There goes Johnny in his mother's nightgown. All the man left and all the man right. All the man needs is a pillow to bite. Give your partner a silly smirk. All join hands for a big circle jerk. Volunteers, all raise your hand. Who's going to be the next pivot man? Invite your partner home for a drink. Lick your lips and give him a wink with a great big smile and a great big nod. Let him know your gerbil's deep clawed.
So I got the 10 horse, but here comes the 9 on the outside. Oh, I'm sorry. He's puking in the stretch. It's 11:31. Anyway, that's what you're going to be hearing at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Hank with Beefo and Eddie K out there at Calder. Wow. Then, of course, the Jimmy Johnson show we got a shot at 5 o'clock with Hank. Josh Darrow, Clarence will be here at 6, and we got the Panther Flame game, 7 o'clock tonight, pregame with Gildy, and the game at 7:30 from the Mac Arena. Like I said, paper says 5,500 unsold tickets for the game tonight. 5,500. I'm going to tell you, it didn't look too good there the other night. Really good game. Another win, 5-2 over Vancouver. They got a pretty decent team this year. We whipped their ass. Pretty entertaining game. A lot of empty seats. See, it was all built on fantasy. It was all built on bullcrap on that big year 4 years ago. You know, Stanley Cup and everybody riding around with the banners in the cars. We love you, Pat. It was all built on phoniness. Just like that Hurricane football thing. I had a laugh also right there at the end of the morning show this morning. They're having a debate on the worst team about, well, you know, what conference could the Hurricanes join so that we could really, get some great rivalries, which is code for what conference could they join so that, like, say if they were playing Florida and Alabama every year, they could have 20 or 30, 40,000 fans from the other team in the Orange Bowl, so maybe they might come close to filling it up. It's all built on a deck of cards. It's not real. It doesn't exist. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
God, you were listening to the first team today? You must have
For
really
about last 5 minutes. It's on here, and I can't turn it off.
Oh. Also, you just were speaking about Hank. Is Bino going to be at Calder today?
Maybe Bino will be there, too, yeah. Or maybe they'll just be taking some Bino.
Listen, he had a caller yesterday that was great that called to say that he doesn't care that the kids are in school in Broward, like, you know, in those what do you call those things?
Portable school.
Portable, but we have to preserve the great game of baseball.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
He didn't care that he had kids that couldn't get into a classroom. He was worried about Mr. Henry, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, John Henry. Well, you know, he was out at the track. Maybe he was thinking of the horse.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the horse's ass if he was thinking about John Henry.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah.
Go get him, Neil.
Maybe we can preserve him with some sodium nitrite. How's that?
Yeah. Go get him. Oh, in closing.
Yes, sir.
F. Steve Allen.
And by the way, he already looks like he's been embalmed, John Henry. Thank you. Yeah, F. Steve Allen. Screw you, Steve, okay? Let people make their own choices. I realize that's very radical in America, where everybody wants to decide for everybody else what food you can eat and what weed you can smoke and all this other bullcrap. Just educate the public. Let them make their own intelligent choices and stop killing each other. That sounds good. Oh, that's radical, man. You can't keep saying those things. Not in this freaking country. Okay. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I've said it 25 million times. The sports nerds are a special breed. Don't expect them to say anything that makes any sense. We could be having all-out nuclear war all over the world right now. We could be just breathing our last gasp, and somebody would call in on this radio station and say, what is your take on that Fredonia-Depew game this weekend? Do you have any thoughts on that Batavia-Leroy game? How's that 9-horse look in the mid-stretch, Eddie? Wow. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Great.
You know, I'm really sick of these athletes. I used to enjoy sports. You know, I can't even watch the games anymore.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these athletes bitching and bitching. And you know what I would say to
Always
them?
be nervous about a bunch of guys who shower together, pal. I'm going to tell you from experience. Always be real concerned about that.
Well, I got nothing to be nervous about.
Okay.
But
I believe you.
Okay, but anyways, you know, they bitch and bitch about the salary. He's getting this. I want that. I want what he's getting. Well, you know, if I was the owner to all these teams, you know what I would say? What the hell would you guys be doing
Right.
if you guys weren't
They'd
playing?
be shoveling cow crap. That's right.
They'd either be pumping gas, bagging groceries,
Or pumping ethyl, right.
or whoring themselves out.
Right.
So, you know what?
Take a look at this Byron Defoe, by the way. And I realize Harry Simmons cheap and the Bruins fans are upset. And the Leafs got Dimitri Kristic for nothing, basically. We're pretty excited about that. But here's a guy, a kid, who's they offer over $3 million a year, and he says no. Okay? What else is he going to be doing? Like you said.
Pumping gas.
Right. He's going to be pumping it.
And the gas, too.
Right.
All right, Neil.
God bless you, sir.
Later.
See, on this show, we talk to probably the minority out there. I don't know if they're the majority of the minority. But people will realize there's a few more important things than some stupid jock who can play a goddamn game. Which, yes, sometimes we find it very entertaining. That's fine. But when some idiot comes along and says, oh, no, I'm not signing for no $6 million. I want $9 million. Like that Alexei Yashin, okay? I say send him to Siberia. Send that Ruski to Siberia. Son of a bitch. Holding up those poor people in Ottawa. And guess what? Ottawa's still kicking ass without you, Alexei. They don't want you back. And this isn't just a guy that's holding out. This is a guy who already had a signed contract. And he says, oh, no, I'm not going to show up unless you give me a big extension and a lot more money. And they said,
no.
No. How many of you folks out there, well, no matter what you do, I don't care what you do and how well you do it, how many of you would turn down $6 million, $8 million a year? Anybody out there? I bet you even George wouldn't turn it down.
No.
No.
For what?
Yeah, he's thinking about it. God, it just makes my guts, my kishkis twist. Just makes my insides puke out. Well, you know, they can only play so many years. Yeah, I love those calls, too. Guess what? If somebody would pay me $8 or $9 million a year for 5 years, I think 5 years would handle it. And maybe one or two. I'd say a couple of years would be really great. Maybe about 6 months might not be bad. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
Have you been watching The Real World at all?
Nah, not since they put those neurotic, psychotic teenagers on it, no.
I'll tell you that Jewish girl, she
Oy!
Oh, God, is she bad.
Grotesque.
Bitches and complaints.
See, MTV has lost it. They didn't understand the reason that they were starting to suck a lot of us in there to watch is they had some real hot-looking young teenagers on there, almost naked every week, and now all they got is a bunch of neurotic basket cases and that bitchy queen on there. Nobody wants to see a bunch of bitchy kids on there.
Yeah, oh, he's gone. He was.
Oh, thank God for that.
It's amazing how
I think they got him with a butterfly net.
They screw it up. You know, they had a good thing going,
right.
and they can't even keep that going.
That's right.
Neil, is it possible to make a shameless request?
Yes, sir.
That Chinese food business.
You got it, man.
Oh, that's great.
You got it.
You are the best.
And God bless you.
Take care.
And we'll pray for the chinks. I mean, 567, oh, there's so many of them. 567-0560, but not down here. We want more Chinese people. I'm telling you right now. We want do we have like a Chinatown here?
We ought to, as long as they,
I mean, Toronto's got like 2 or 3 Chinatowns. L.A. has got 2 Chinatowns. New York has got Chinatown. San Francisco's got a Chinatown. Every major city in America has got Chinatown. Do we have Chinatown?
No.
No. All we got is Cubatown. That's all we got. I say let's take Mayor Pinga, send him to China, and bring in some, Chinese mayor. That's what I say. Or let's make Bob mayor. 21 till noon at QAM.
This is 560 QAM. Just lick 'em.
How can I help you?
Yeah, calling for the restaurant for sale?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, uh-huh. What's your name?
Patrick?
Patrick?
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to talk to someone named Fu.
Who?
Fu.
Okay, hold on just a second, okay?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Hello?
Yeah, hello? Who's speaking?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You got restaurant for sale?
Uh-huh.
How much you want for this lot?
Well, you come here to look at it and talk to the boss.
I come over, maybe eat dinner with you.
Okay.
Does that price include all the walks?
Huh?
Huh?
什么？
什么叫做
You Chinese?
Yeah, Chinese.
Okay, you come over. 对，同老板讲啊。
怎么讲？讲
2点半了哈。
讲应该讲啊。
啊？
讲。
2点半哈。
2点讲了。Okay, how about I get order to go and then I come over, pick it up and look at restaurant?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
What you have?
You know, 你知道在哪里没有？
讲。
你知道哪里啊？
你要去哪
？31, 35, South Main Hall.
好讲啊？
啊？
讲啊 ？Okay, I'll be right there.
Okay.
好像在台湾的。
等你来同老板讲哈。
台湾讲。
啊？
讲拜。
16 till noon at 560 WQAM. Yeah, this article in today is the ongoing series in the Herald. Political baggage, why Miami International Airport doesn't work. It makes you angrier and angrier, and then what makes you even more pissed off than that is, I'm not going to say the people out there don't care, but we can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You can get angry, but there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. And if you want to fly anywhere, I mean, flying out of Fort Lauderdale, I guess they got the parking thing done now finally in Fort Lauderdale, I guess. Maybe somebody will call us. I haven't flown out of there in ages because I don't want to park 20 miles away and take a goddamn bus. But you can't go anywhere from Fort Lauderdale Airport. How many places can you go nonstop? You can go like to Orlando, Tampa, New York, Boston, where? Atlanta, Miami. You can fly from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. No, you can't. And that's it. Opelika, maybe. That's it. There is no place you can fly to from Fort Lauderdale nonstop. Almost no place. At least not when you want to go. So you're stuck with this other piece of crap. And the article today, the $5.4 billion construction plan at MIA promises architecture of world-class quality, but the most important and public piece of the airport, the main terminal, where passengers buy tickets and check bags, will fall far short of the mark. $5.4 billion they're going to spend. And guess who's going to get the biggest improvements and the biggest and glitziest joints? The people with the most lobbyists. American Airlines and United Airlines. United Airlines. American, by the way, with the strong support of then-Commissioner Alex Pinga. The airline in 1993 won approval for its $500 million super concourse, then pushed for removal of the airport director who had opposed them. He said, "Don't call me Judy. We need a correction of what I judge a totally unworkable situation at the airport," American Airlines lawyer Ted Tedesco said at the time. Elder resigned under pressure later this week. Oh, it wasn't Dick Judy, it was the elder. And it goes on and on. It was the commissioners, and, of course, Mayor Pinga was a commissioner back then. Just unbelievable. The people who are manipulating and controlling all the stuff that goes on in there for their own fun and profit, and as far as the public is concerned, like that. And it's something I never thought about, because I use the parking all the time there. So I go up on the third floor. I go up on the walkways there, the moving walkways, which sometimes they're moving. Much of the time they're not. Once in a while they move. Guess what? It cost $12 million to build that crap, and nobody knows that it's there. How do you like that? Nobody knows that it's there, the moving runways. It says on the terminal's third floor, a $12 million moving walkway system runs empty because it's hidden from sight and because it's accessible only by labyrinth connections. A disgrace, says Donald E. Lefter, the vice chairman of Carnival Hotels and Casinos and the chairman of the One Community, One Goal Visitors Task Force. He says Miami International's got the most user-unfriendly arrangement that can be imagined. And I've always wondered, you never do see anybody up there. Great. Maybe you want to, it's fine for me. You don't have to go pushing over a bunch of old ladies who aren't going anywhere if refuse to stand over on the right.
I didn't have trouble finding them.
No, I know where they are. So that's good. Like I said, let's leave it that way, okay? I like it. $12 million and the goddamn walkways don't walk most of the time. I like the rubber ones, Oh, God, that's almost like a sexual experience. Woo! Here's Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, sir.
I was just calling in to give my congratulations to the jury who found Commissioner Burke and his aide and the California businessmen not guilty on those bogus bribery charges, bribery conspiracy. And I just feel like The government wasted a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of time to try to find these guys guilty of crimes that they didn't commit. Why can't we do something with...
Probably because he was black, you know.
What do you mean?
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I on?
Sounds like you.
Oh, I had the phone down. I'm
That's
sorry,
okay.
Neil.
You sound fine.
I'm driving a tractor trailer. I'm trying to get through this traffic. Oh, hey, how's it going? Listen,
You're driving a tractor trailer through traffic?
yeah, right through it, man.
And he's on a cell phone. Let's hear it for this guy. All right.
I'm
I like
a
your style,
professional.
man.
Hey, Neil, I don't have season tickets. I don't own season tickets for the Panthers, but fortunately, I was handed 2 tickets the other day
Yes.
for a game.
Right.
Guess what game it is, though? I'm really freaking out here. January 1, 2000.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, do you think the ice is going to be melted?
The ice will probably melt, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to happen on that
And
day.
you'll notice that they're not playing at noon that day like they have all the other years that we've had a team. They're
3
playing
o'clock.
at 3 in the afternoon because they realize that everybody's going to be under the covers till at least 1 o'clock that day.
I just can't imagine. I can't wait till that day just to see what it's going to be like. You've even driving around outside.
Who are playing that day? I haven't looked at the schedule
The
yet.
Lightning.
Oh, like I said.
Well, hey, they were free to me in the club level, $71 a ticket.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Hey, Neil, I also heard, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. That the FBI has warned all the local municipalities to be on the lookout for mayhem on that day. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
They know something we don't know. Well, hey, it's all the material I got. Have a great
Pat,
day.
and watch where you're going.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, watch out for mayhem on New Year's Day. You know, the one thing that I find amazing, just like I told you many, many months ago, which didn't take a genius to figure it out, is that the Y2K thing turns out to be, for the most part, much ado about nothing. I mean, yeah, there had to be billions of dollars spent to update all the, computers, etc. In fact, one of the airport guys one of the pilots was saying, well, you know something, they've already tested they've done the test flights, but he said, guess what? It really doesn't have any impact because planes, just like automobiles, aren't programmed to fly on a particular date. Yeah, I know. It's just like the which century are we going? Let's do that again, huh? That was one of the great shows of all time. Made me feel like a genius. Let's see, 1 and 1, let's see. Yeah. We're not going into the 21st century, boys and girls. The 21st century doesn't start till the year 2001.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You're peeing on our parade. You're killing our good time like always, Neil. God dang you. We are not entering the 21st century. This will be the last year of the 20th century. Yeah. There was no year 0. Just like when you're counting in tens. The first group of 10 are 1 through 10. The second group of 10 are 11 through 20. The third group of 10 penises are 21 through 30. Whatever you're counting, penises, breasts, whatever it is, assholes, it's 10 at a time. The next one starts in 1 because there is no, well, I won't say there's no 0 penis. There's always John in sales. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. As we continue seeking the goddamn truth here today, the Y2K. You don't have to have a nervous breakdown. You don't have to take all your money out of the bank. You don't have to hide under the bed. The world will not come to an end. It's not Armageddon, etc., and so on. But I would not be flying on too many third world airlines on that weekend. Not a good idea. Here's Opalaka. Hello.
Uncle Neil?
Yes, sir.
How come you make me wait so long because I say I'm an Opalaka?
What can I do for you, sir?
How's the bicycle? You ready?
Okay. 567-0560. You waited 17 minutes to do a funny voice. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Uncle Neil, I was arrested for half a joint the other night by the Miami Herald.
Oh, my God.
By the Miami Herald?
By the Miami Herald. Got pulled over. Forgot it was in my cigarette pack. The city of Miami.
The Miami Herald arrested you now?
No.
You just said you got arrested by the Miami Herald. The Herald is arresting marijuana smokers.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God.
Neil.
Oh, you had it wrapped up in the Herald.
Neil, the city of Miami will not give me my damn Bronco back unless I give them $1,000
Yeah.
for a half a joint.
Only $50.
That's pretty expensive weed, man.
This is unbelievable. I wonder if this has to do with these dirtbags, Caesar Rodeo, and all these guys that were working back there.
Sounds pretty
who
odious
broke
to me.
the city, and now I got to pay because of my marijuana habit.
You don't mean another one of those Julio Crook, Caesar Odious, do you?
Neil, I think this is absurd. This is really not fair. I mean, half a joint, you know.
Okay, don't do it again, man.
Will not.
See you in Vancouver. See you in Vancouver or Amsterdam. Wow.
That's the American fucking way.
Yeah, 600,000 people arrested last year for possession just in the U.S. of A. Not for growing, not for distributing, not for selling, just for possession. Like Clarence Thomas said, it was only a little pin joint. Oh. My favorite call of all time was that one kid. Well, screw you, Neil. That guy. Because he knows that what I said is true. This is a very, very backwards, juvenile place. The U.S. of A. Full-page ad in the newspaper. People are starving, Steve Allen. Why doesn't a multimillionaire like you take all the money that you're raising? And I'm sure he's not using his own money because they got the coupons in it to get people to contribute to this bullcrap cause. You want to donate to a good cause, help the people that are starving to death, okay? People are going to freeze to death up north this winter, which is going to start very goddamn soon, by the way. They're having snow in some places this weekend. And you're raising money so that you can dictate what's on television. If people don't want to see it, if they want it off, they won't watch it. Very simple. If they don't want vanilla ice cream in the marketplace anymore, they'll stop buying it. They'll stop eating it. And guess what? The ice cream companies won't make it anymore. They don't want Jerry Springer on, people will turn it all off. It won't be on anymore. It'll have no ratings. That's the way it works. Just like the old Steve Allen show, Steve. If people didn't want to see it, they would have turned it off. It would have gone off the air because you would have had no ratings. That's the way it works. It worked that way in the 50s. It works that way in the 90s. And if people don't watch their kids, they don't want their kids to watch whatever the programs are, then let the people be responsible for their kids. Oh, what a concept, huh? I am so sick and tired of the Steve Allens and the Jim Kennedys and the Jerry Falwells and the Pat Robertsons and all the goody two-shoes telling all of us what we can watch and what we can think and what's good and what's bad and what we should wear. And don't forget, we got to have the kids dressed up in those uniforms to go to school. All the little brown shirts marching. Adolf will be proud. Goose-stepping to school every day. Then they will be good. Just look at the Nazi youth. They were good little obedient Nazis, huh? Right?
Uh-huh.
Sieg Heil, baby. As Ken Jenny says, Sieg Heil. 4 minutes till noon here at QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
The following is a message from the Boulder, Colorado Police Department.
Boulder, Colorado. Mountains, fresh air, and corruption that rivals Miami. Hi, I'm Chief Mark Beckner of the Boulder Police Department. By now you're all aware that this country offers the finest judicial system money can buy. But it can't stay that way without the financial support of wealthy folks like you to help us continue to serve, protect, and be your whore. So if you're inclined to sexually abuse your children and beat them to death with a lamp or any other blunt instrument, why, you can depend on me and others like me to deliver on selective law enforcement. Like tampering with evidence or losing a DNA sample. Oops. Say, thanks for the new Acura, John.
Sarge,
Yeah.
I don't want to bother you enough, but
What
I
is
think
it?
we got a suspect over here.
Sorry to hear it. So like I was saying, keep 'em dying and the checks flying.
So how's Mr. Fung doing, by the way? Oh, I'm sorry. It's 12:01 at 560. You got to admit it was a lot of fun. It was a good time, that OJ trial. Yeah, we enjoyed it. If they would have fried his ass, we'd liked it better. But it was a lot of fun. Some familiar with the design debates at the airport say that the main terminal might have commanded a bigger budget if only the general public had hired lobbyists. To win approval of its new $1.3 billion Super Concourse, American Airlines had to retain more than 10 influential county commission lobbyists and lawyers. United Airlines, which is now slated for an area of airport getting $500 million into the construction, hired 6 lobbyists. In fact, the success of American Airlines in winning its Super Concourse is a story of political perseverance. American Airlines began to push the idea for a new super concourse 47 gates long in 1991. It would replace an equivalent number of existing gates and was the estimated cost of $500 million. The airport director then, Rick Elder, objected at the proposal. He said the airline could be accommodated by renovating Concourse's D&E, a project estimated to cost roughly $100 million less than the super concourse. With the strong support of then-Commissioner Alex Pinga, the airline in 1993 won approval for its $500 million super concourse, then pushed for removal of the airport director who had opposed them. We need a correction of what I judge a totally unworkable situation at the airport, American Airlines lawyer Ted Tedesco said at the time. Elder resigned under pressure later that week, and it goes on and on and on about how all this money is being spent to accommodate the worst airline in the airport, the airline that we just had in the middle of all of this scandal about all the drugs being smuggled, about the ramp rats, and the goddamn hand grenades, all of these things. And millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars are being spent to accommodate the worst airline at the airport. For those of us who go there as paying passengers, where we go, we're going to get squat. Because we don't have any lobbyists working for us, and these people don't give a crap about us. Right, Mayor Pinga?
Uh-huh.
You little turd, you little weasel, you little crook. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Plenty of open lines. We're waiting on you. About 200-300 of them. Here's a mobile in Aventura. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Rogers?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, listen, here's a couple of more facts and reasons to all those people out there who don't believe in the theory of evolution. The first one is anybody driving along south on 95 between Sterling and Sheridan, there's a nice big puss of Peter Worrell. I don't know what your nickname for him is. Just take a long, hard look at that, and you'll think twice about evolution.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is, did you see yesterday on the news or the day before where they dug up that woolly mammoth fully encased in, I don't know if it was the South Pole or North Pole, and this thing was so fully encased it had the tusk coming out of the ice. So there's another reason. Also, how about those Southern Baptists pissing off those Hindus and saying that they're all going to hell along with the rest of us up there in Atlanta during the convention?
Yeah. Well,
Also,
at least the Jews and Hindus get along. We'll have a good time down there.
Listen, also, I'll cue this up for your show. This for Jimmy. We have a shot. We really have a shot this year. Hey, bye.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. They just lost their interest all of a sudden. Somebody just pulled a plug. Look at that. I'll get a chance to play my song 20 or 30 times till 2 o'clock. I love it. Thank you again, Tracy Neely. She's on her way to Maine. She ain't going to be here. Here's a mobile in Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil, how you doing today?
Okay, sir.
I did get a chance to call you on Monday. You were talking about the hurricane. I live down on Marco Island, and Friday afternoon when the storm was forecasted, the Ida storm forecast to pass over Marco Island, my wife and I were watching the embassy affiliate over here, Channel 2. The chief meteorologist's name is Tom Rector.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, during his forecast, he goes, now would be a good time to get all your personal belongings, documents, your homeowner's insurance, life insurance papers, birth certificates, death certificates. And I go to my wife, have you seen my death certificate around here anywhere? He goes, look, now's a good time to get your death certificate.
Death certificate.
Yeah, I'm like, God, have I died?
No, but you don't understand. Most of the people who are here in South Florida should have one.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at myself going, did I just hear what this guy said?
What's his name, Tom?
Rector. Tom Rector. This guy is terrible. I mean, we'll take some of those deadbeats you got out on the East Coast to come over here, but God, these people over here are lame.
Well, we sent you one. We sent you Corey Sabin. We're trying to work on
we got
some more.
Corey Sabin. He looks like Eddie Munster from the Munsters.
That's
that
him.
little D-cut haircut there.
That's the guy.
That's
okay,
him.
good luck to you, pal.
We're sending them back.
See ya. 5670560, pound 560. You notice how whipped up they are about this airport thing? Do they care? And, of course, these people haven't discovered those walkways either.
No.
They're still lost. They're lost because nobody speaks English. That's what they're upset about. Like I said the other day, I don't care about that. I mean, yes, it's a little bit annoying at times. I don't really care. I'm not interested in speaking to anybody at the airport. I go to the counter, I get my ticket, my boarding pass, I get on a plane, that's it. I would like to have a place where we can go get a good meal. That would be nice. Where we had like larger waiting areas, where it was like less congested, where you had the feeling that maybe somebody had some idea of what was going on. Especially, like I said, and see, this is the thing that kills me. American Airlines, they're getting the biggest chunk. And they're the biggest dreck of all. They are, and they don't care. No wonder they're arrogant. They don't give a damn. They got their lobbyists, they got their lawyers, they got the politicians in their hip pockets like Don Corleone. They don't give a crap. And that's what they give you for service, crap. The last time American Airlines had a flight to anywhere that was on time, a flight from here to Poughkeepsie, 1986. That's the last time they had a flight that arrived on time. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Reason why I don't care is I go out of Fort Lauderdale.
Is the parking thing finished now?
It's finished. You know what? Even when that parking garage was being built, I used valet parking. It was the best thing. It was for $2 more a day. I never had a problem. I love
Valet
that
parking. I didn't even know they had valet parking.
Oh yeah, they have valet parking. You just take your thing right up to the curb. It's $2 more a day than long term, and it's so worth it. And then when you get off the plane, you just call and they bring your thing to you. But that's why I don't care, and I hate Miami. It's so corrupt and so bad.
And nobody gives a crap. That's the best part.
And nobody
cares. These people
that's the whole
couldn't
thing.
give a crap.
Nobody votes, and nobody cares.
And they know that. That's why this all goes on. These people are dead as a doornail.
Exactly. I was just saying I'm very frustrated. How funny is it that IOD used to have Phil Hendry, Neil Rogers, Rick and Suds, and Randy Rose all in one station?
Yeah.
And now they're all back in this market, all on different stations, and all on at the same time.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
Rick and Suds are on at this time?
Well, no, I'm sorry. You're right. But that's the only one. But the other three are all on at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm back and forth. As soon as you go on commercial, I'm at Phil Henry.
Yeah. You know something? Doesn't faze me in the least bit. It hasn't affected the show even minuscule.
No, that's the whole
Not even
deal.
minutely.
If that station was smart, they'd
You see,
put them on
if
after
they were
you.
smart, that's right. Anybody knows that. If they were smart, they'd put them on from 2 to 5, and then my audience would tune over there, and then he'd have the opportunity to have a large audience.
And then
I haven't heard. You're about the third person in the 3 weeks that he's been on the air. You're only about the third person that's even mentioned that he's on.
Probably because people don't even know.
Well, they sure ought to know. I gave them plenty of free publicity here. Maybe if they weren't so goddamn cheap, they'd go out and get some goddamn billboards or something. Have a great day, pal.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, Neil's giving us free publicity. Don't seem to be working too good, does it, Pete? No, it's not working. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 9 minutes past noon. And by the way, isn't that the station that's got the tapes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We do the show live, thank you. 9 minutes past 12 at WQAM.
It's Friday, you bastard.
Okay, 12:13 at QM. We've reached the ultimate South Florida experience. Okay, I was just telling George, take a look at that. And now we got this beautiful new computer screen. There's one line lit on the board. It's a mobile in Seattle. Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I miss
You're
you
my
so.
only call, pal.
Hey, they don't know what they're missing down there.
Yeah, they don't know squat.
It's a radio wasteland up here. Also, the only thing we have is the marginal at best Tom Likas. Let me tell you.
Oh, God.
I know. Talking to Neil Rogers. Hey, I miss you so much, Neil. And hey, I was just wondering, are you selling any of the like tapes? Remember you were doing
Yes, we are.
raising money?
Yep.
Okay. After the call, I want to get on with George and grab a tape. But I miss you a lot, and it's really. I'm glad I moved out of Florida because this is honestly a living and breathing town. I mean, you'd love it up here.
Yeah.
Definitely should come up and take a visit.
Too far.
Oh, it's not that far.
I've never been there. I'd like to go there, and I'd like to go to Vancouver, too, but they're too damn far.
Oh, if you come up here, go to Seattle, go to I recommend Victoria over Vancouver.
Yeah.
Victoria is one of the most incredible, quaint cities. It's so clean. I mean, Seattle is too. It's just like a beautiful, clean city, and the people are actually nice and respectful up here. It's amazing.
How do you like that? It sounds like Toronto to me.
Yeah, you know what? It's
Cleanest
probably a
city
lot
in the world. Cleanest big city in the world, they say about Toronto.
I know it's probably a lot like Toronto, and I just missed your story. Thought my favorite story I think you've ever told was the time that you went on that date with the girl and you rented the car.
Right.
That was honestly
Scratched the crap out of that Chevy Impala, that beautiful black Chevy. Yeah. Puked my guts out. Left my glasses and my watch on it on the blanket. It was a grasser. Yeah.
That was the greatest. I've just driven around.
I remember her name. Her name was Arlene. She was a knockout. You would have liked her. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, you were saying that she was like a beautiful girl.
She was. All the other guys were
after you, or?
Huh?
She wanted to like date you or something for a while, and you were like giving her the brush off. And
yeah.
How did you eventually just say okay?
Well, she lived in Detroit. I was in East Lansing. I mean, I was just a punk. I couldn't afford to be smashing up cars every week. Okay, hang on, pal. George,
Okay.
George will give you the info.
All right.
And take care of yourself.
Hey, you too. You're my best radio friend.
God bless you, sir.
You too.
Hang on. Line 5, he sounds so depressed just to say goodbye. See, once they get out of town, then they appreciate me. When they're in town, it's like, screw him. That's the way they look at it. Even Carlos came in with a mail. He said, it's Neil, screw him, you know. That's the way they operate around here. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. What is Carlos so distraught about?
I don't bring up the mail for these other people, only for you guys.
Oh, thank you. We love you, Carlos. By the way, tell, what's her name? We love her too. What's her name? Schmo Griffin. Oh, God, what a place. This town. I mean, I looked at that. I wish I had my Polaroid camera in here like Jason did the time he dropped that turd in the toilet. That J-shaped turd. I said, it's a good thing your name isn't Mike. The J was for Jason. But at any rate, I sit here and there was the one line. Are you going to tell that guy something or what? I don't want to get pushy. The guy in line 5 from Seattle because it's on his dime, I think. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello. Mobile in Davie. Okay, nice talking to you too, asshole. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm a native-born, heterosexual gringo, and can I step up on the soapbox for a minute with you?
Go ahead.
Dade County sucks.
Yeah.
And here's why. I worked at that Super 8 concourse, and I've been reading all the follow-up letters to why that airport expansion project's never going to happen. It's never going to finish with the budget that they've allocated ever.
Mm-hmm.
You could take that number and triple it probably.
Right.
Every time we had a problem at that concourse, the county people would come in there and throw a bag of money at it and just say, get it done. Every time there was a problem or there was a budget constraint or a budget question, money would be there. It would be there in 3 times what they would figure it would be, and that's what it ended up costing. And that in and of itself is a problem. But the reason I say the town sucks, I grew up here when this town, when Miami was a self-respecting town, when the people that lived in it enjoyed living in it. Now, everything about it is corrupt and dark and tainted and poisonous and I'm telling you. But other than that, I don't mean to honeycoat the town. No, it's not a bad place. And I really wish you had an audience in a town that could appreciate what you do besides these hateful.
Yeah, but one thing, like at least they're consistent. I don't take it personally because it's just like Dan Marino. The guy's been here for 17 years, and yeah, so he's injured now and he's had a couple of bad games, whatever. But no matter what he did for this team and for the so-called fans here,
it goes
they don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate anybody who tries to do something good here. But what they do is they suck up to the assholes like Mayor Pinga and all these other jackasses, and they just keep putting the same losers in over and over again.
I know, and it's the real thing, the real bottom line. For me and for most of my friends, we're in our late 30s, early 40s, that really pisses us off is we've lost this town to people who come over here and absolutely refuse to acclimate themselves to the customs and society that we live in, and it's completely changed.
Absolutely correct, sir.
That's right.
And that sucks. And with that, I'm going to wish you a great day. I've got bigger and better things to do. I'm going back to Broward County where the last gringo leaving Miami, please bring the flag.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, they're pissed off at you people in Dade County. You know something? Your airport is corrupt. Your mayor is corrupt. And you people sit out there and all you do is go, yeah. You don't give a crap about anything. What do you expect us to say? Oh, boy, it's a paradise, huh? But see, these people don't go anywhere. They really don't. That's why we get 8 million calls a year. Oh, Neil, I'm going to Vegas for the first time. Can you recommend me a 7-Eleven that's pretty nice out there? They don't go anywhere. They don't know from the airport what's going on out there. And the only time we ever get calls about Miami International Airport, it's the same thing. Oh, I don't ever go near there because nobody speaks English. First of all, that's a bunch of bull crap. Secondly, how can you go get anywhere without going there? Where are you going to go from Fort Lauderdale? Fort Lauderdale Airport is for, Goyim. It's for Goyim and old Jews who are going to New York on the emergency ambulance run, the geriatric run. No, seriously, when you see a plane coming in from New York at Fort Lauderdale Airport, and the porters right away have like 16 wheelchairs, they're taking to the ramp. You want to know why? Because it's the geriatric paramedic flight. The death flight. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. I'm going to tell you something. I do it for the money. Just to go back to the guy, well, if you hate so much about this, I do it for the money. I sure don't do it for this tremendously responsive audience, because just like this guy says, and the guy who called him before in Seattle, they don't appreciate what you do for them. Just like the thing with the 1 cent sales tax. I could have just avoided that. I don't need to sit here and puke my guts out day after day. I could sit here and play a bunch of funny crap all the time, and that's it. Don't have to work my brains out and have a nervous breakdown trying to raise money for a good charity. Trying to do something positive in the community where you've taken money out for 23 years. You got to give something back. But these are the most grudging, the most unyielding, the most unmoving. It doesn't make any difference whether it's politics, whether it's radio, whether it's sports, go to a goddamn ball game, a hockey game. Yeah, it's the same thing. You can't move them with a goddamn crowbar. They're immovable, man, and intractable. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I know you don't like to talk sports and everything like that, but you know this Peter Warwick situation that's going up in Tallahassee?
Yes.
What an idiot, this president of the university. I went to Florida State, and this guy really is an idiot, this president. Have you ever seen him?
No.
He wears a stinking bow tie, and you know who he hired when he was a former lawyer and the whole thing and everything?
Yeah.
He hired Janet Reno when she was coming out of college. And I was like, exactly. And you know what the one good thing is, though? She wasn't on her knees giving him a oral pleasure.
That's for damn sure, right.
Because she was disgusting. But, what, and you were talking about these people don't appreciate you down here. Exactly. You know why they don't? Is because when they go away, they actually realize, you know what, you're the best thing that is around. Because, wherever they go, I mean, shoot, these people on radio are idiots,
Okay.
And, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Can I have a request by chance?
Okay.
The Hank Goldberg song, if possible, either one of the two.
Hank Goldberg song?
Yeah, either the one where he leaves about the wife.
Oh, okay.
That one?
You got it.
Love you, Neil.
See ya. He doesn't mean my wife left town with Hank Goldberg, does it? Oh. Have we got that? Oh, yeah, we got it. 5670560, pound 560 on the, and believe me, I know it's not going to change. I'm not going to change this town. I'm not going to change the people. They're not all of a sudden going to be, and this bullcrap, they're so afraid of you. They're so intimidated by you. Like the salespeople in here. You want to know why most of our salespeople are intimidated by me? Because most of them are incompetent. If they could come in here like a mensch and talk, mano a mano, whatever the hell that means, hand to rectum, or whatever that is, but they can't do it. Because some of them are so in up over their heads all the way to their rectum. That's right, like I said. Intimidating my ass. If you have an opinion and you have any feeling that it merits anything, you say it. You verbalize it. Have we had a woman caller here today?
No.
I don't think so. Was there one? I don't think so. Now, I just keep bringing that up. I know we have no women audience. It's amazing to me, though, that when I go to the hockey games, men, women, teenagers, little kids, they're all peeing all over. Hey, Neil, I love your show. They wouldn't call no matter what it was. Unless we had free tickets, which you'll never get another giveaway on this show as long as I'm here in this seat. Ever, ever, never, ever. George wants to give crap away when he's here. That's his prerogative. That's up to you.
Just beer to the gringos.
Beer to the gringos. That's fine with me. All the beer you want. But not this kid. It's bad radio. It's not as bad radio as, I got the 10-horse, here comes the 9 on the outside. That's the worst radio in the history of broadcasting. The all-time worst, Eddie K. You GA member in waiting. Nobody cares if you got the 9-horse, if you got the 10 over the 7, 8, 9. We don't care. Nobody cares. It's boring. Terminal. You want to go to the track? Great. I just don't want to hear it. Oh, my God. Wow. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Well, considering, huh?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Hey, I got my voice back today.
I don't know. I asked George if you'd seen this article or heard about this article in today's Fort Lauderdale, whatever they call it. The Baptist Urged Prayer for World Hindus.
I didn't see that. Somebody called about that. What page is that on?
It's on 14. I can fax it to you if you'd like. 14A. It's, you got the paper?
I got it in my hand right now in the paper, too. It's on 14, eh?
You're going to love this. Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is,
those Baptists are praying for everybody. 2 weeks ago it was the Jews. Now they're praying for the Hindus.
And the Muslims like a few weeks
ago. I got it.
Before
Baptist Urged Prayer for the World's Hindus. Pre-festive, and they did it with the Jews right at Yom Kippur, which is the most solemn Jewish holiday, and now they're doing it just when the Hindus are going to have their big holiday.
What are these people thinking?
How to win friends in the pubic relations?
And Christmas, what are they going to do before Christmas? I wonder.
Probably do something with the Catholics and the Virgin Mary.
Well, they got it under the wraps, don't
they? Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just would like to say to all these people in any kind of religion or group or whatever, if your religion or group or anybody teaches or preaches intolerance against any other group, get out of the group. It's not really worth staying.
That's right. If they preach intolerance, we hate you like poison.
Exactly.
Have a great day, pal.
You too, sir.
And I'll pray for you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I'm going to become a Baptist and pray for everybody. Then I can be in heaven all by myself. Yeah, you Baptists are going to be lonely up there, I'll tell you that. Got to have a bunch of Jews and horny Catholics up there with you. Otherwise, it's no fun, especially the horny Catholics. God, are they horny. Whew. Almost as horny as the Chinese. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM.
Here on Sports Radio 560
So if we're going to do like 4 newscasts an hour, the rejoins with these little mini promos and playing half of a goddamn quarter of football, they're too long. So like I said, we wind up doing 4 newscasts an hour, and that's why people like this nice lady don't want to hang on, but I'll put her on right away before I play the bit. Hello?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
I am a female. I listen to you. Just wanted to let you know you're the only decent thing on the radio.
That's correct.
But the only time I can listen to you is in the car, which I'm in now.
Yeah.
But I agree with you with these morons. I was in the 7-Eleven the other day, and the girl says, "Let me ask the manager." I said, the word is ask, A-S-K.
Wow.
She says, "Well, I have an accent. That's why." I said, "Well, I'm trying to help."
No, wait. So in other words, she was a Juliet?
Yes.
Oh.
But when I said, "I'm just trying to help you," she's like, "Sorry."
Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, I love you.
Okay, thanks, sweetheart.
Okay.
Sorry for waiting. Okay, there you go, like I said.
My wife left town with Hank Goldberg. What a lucky goat. Found a little chubby hiding in a tent. No, it wasn't. It was his overcoat. I hope it never happens to you. Hank Goldberg breaks your ratings and I paid for the beer. My wife left town with Hank Goldberg. My lady is slipping. The ratings are slipping. The ratings are slipping today. I paid for the beer.
Yeah. How come he doesn't do anything on the end of that one? All the other one, he lets out a geschrei or something.
He hung it up at that point.
Oh.
Remember he used to slam the phone down?
Right. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Baptist urge prayer for world's Hindus. Pre-festival publication outrages religious leaders. The Southern Baptist Convention, and I guess they're trying to be the most intolerant of them all, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. The nation's largest Protestant denomination is urging its members to pray for the millions of Hindus lost in the hopeless darkness of Hinduism. Oh, that's a lovely way to put it, isn't it? About 30,000 booklets to be issued on Monday in time for Diwali, the major Hindu festival of lights. Just like they did before Yom Kippur, the same thing. They wait until your biggest religious holiday, and then they're going to stick you with all this propaganda and try to convert you, just so it can be as offensive as possible. It calls for the conversion of those who worship gods which are not God. Our God is the right God, your God sucks. Our God's the right God, your God sucks.
Yeah, but their religion's older than Christianity by thousands of years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And my mother's older than I am. Does that make her right?
No, it just means
old, crabby, fault-finding. The booklet says that Hindus have no concept of sin or personal responsibility. The denomination previously published booklets soliciting prayers for Muslims and Jews, offending leaders of those faiths, pissing them off, foaming them at the mouth. The language in this publication is harsher, says Lewis Moore, the book's editor. There is a clearer definition that Hindus are lost, he said. We are all lost without Jesus Christ. Diwali is a major festival dedicated to Lakshmi, goddess of prosperity and goodness, and the prostitution, whatever. Uma Maksokar, president of the Hindu temple of Flushing in New York. She's the president of the Flushing Temple. And secretary-treasurer of the Council of Hindu Temples said the timing of the publication is insulting. Miss O'Rikar, whatever the hell her name is, what is it? Tiramisu, said the thinking contained in the God is not only absurd but also ignorant. I don't think Jesus himself would have had said not to respect other religions. Hari Sharma, no kin to Hari Krishna, president of the Hindu Temple of Greater Chicago, said, whoever publishes such a book does a disservice to the society. People should understand one another's religions, not go back into history when we're attacking one another. A guide to praying for Buddhists is also planned, how to pray for them. I guess you got to shave your head, or you shave their head before you slice them at the neck. Is that how the good Christians do it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Give them a bath, shave their head, and then Give him the old chop. Oh, by the way, one of the great T-shirts I ever saw in my life in that last game in New York, or maybe it was the game in Atlanta, I don't know. But it was a Mets fan, kid, about 15 years old, had a T-shirt on. Little message for the Braves fans. It said, chop this, and it had an arrow pointing down to his crotch. Nice going, pal. I love it. And then there was a kid the other night at the hockey game he was obviously a FSU kid, had a T-shirt on. It says, I guess Will Rogers never met Steve Spurrier. And I thought, good point. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. That's our poll question today. Who's the biggest Yahoo? Butch Davis, Steve Spurrier, or Bobby Bowden? Let's put in Terry Bowden in there, too, okay? He's got a few problems there. Let's put his name in the old hopper, too. Who's the biggest Yahoo? Here's the mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's up? I saw the funniest comedy bit on Channel 7 the other day.
Yeah.
It was these trailer trash guys over in Davie blaming the mayor for the water, the rain. And they were saying that it was the mayor's fault that there was so much rain around and they should bring in trucks and pump it somewhere. Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was, Channel 7, they were very serious. The reporters were like, well, what do you think should be done? And they were saying, Harry Penis, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was to blame for all the rain. It was all his fault. Let me ask you a favor. Can I call somebody a douchebag?
No. 567-0560, pound 560. We finished doing that a long time ago, sir. We don't call people douchebags. We don't give stuff away. We're moving on, onward and upward, okay? We're trying to, graduate. It's only been 23 years. We're trying to move on to the next level, first grade, okay? We finally got out of kindergarten. Now we're moving on to the first grade. You think we can do it?
No.
No. Wow. If I got a stiff neck from this show today. I'll tell you that right now, from these people. What the hell do I waste my time with that stuff about the airport? I guess because I go there a lot. These people don't care. Oh, we don't go anywhere near there. No, because you don't go anywhere. You don't get out of here. Maybe if you'd get on a plane and go somewhere like to a real civilized place, you'd come back here and you'd say, something, Neil's got a point. Maybe you might say that. God.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Her bladder pop, and then she's got to do the squat. On the road when there's nowhere to stop, no way that they can aim it in one spot. So when they gotta go, they gotta squat.
Squirt.
Behind a bush or a vacant lot. Squat. Like it or not, they gotta squat. Sometimes even in a parking lot. Come on, baby, let me see you squat. I like the way you got a piss and squat. Come on, baby, let me see you squat. Make you feel better about what I got. Come on, baby, let me see you squat. Squat, 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 squat.
143 at 560 WQAM. By the way, the rejoins are too long. Okay, in case our PD in between wiping the tears from his eyes, the rejoins are too goddamn long. That's part of the problem here. The format, you can't complain about the formatics on this station because they're non-existent. Just unbelievable. It's just, it's like an invitation. Well, if you think you might call us someday, don't plan on holding on because we'll do everything in our power to discourage you from hanging on. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How's it going?
Okay, sir.
Neil, wanted to touch on some points. I heard you before saying that Patrick Buchanan was joining the Reform Party.
Yes.
That's true?
Well, it's been on the news. It's not a secret. I didn't just make it up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That guy's a radical.
He's a what?
A radical.
A Nazi.
Yeah. We were supposed to be the centrist party.
We?
Yeah. I'm a member of the Reform Party.
Yeah. And then how come Jesse Ventura is talking about Donald Trump? What does he stand for?
Oh, that guy's not going to run. That's a comedy show.
Uh-huh. Well, when are you going to come up with a serious candidate?
Well, we had the one from Minnesota. He's doing pretty good.
Jesse Ventura? He's not running.
But he ran for governor.
He's not running for president.
Oh, well. I mean, it's hard enough for us to find good candidates. You know, it's a political party that just started, and you know, there's not too many good candidates in any party. Look at the Republicans and Democrats. Let me ask you something else. Why do they have to put these shows, these golf shows at 7 in the morning and stuff like that?
Because anybody that would be stupid enough to listen to a golf show deserves to get up at 7 in the morning. Have a great day, sir, and good luck to us with you in there. Was that a great Reform Party call or what? That was the definitive call. Okay, we got 20 or 30 open lines here. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
If you think that the comment about I'm going to ask you a question or something,
yes.
How about on all 3 television networks for the past week or so since the hurricane, talking about the lady who lost her 2 twin boys?
Yes.
On every station, that's what they're saying. 2 twins. Now, the next thing is this. The most absurd thing I've ever heard about from people talking about the whole Jesus thing is that, well, I don't really know if it's all true, but, you know, I just kind of play it both ways just to protect
just
myself.
in case, yeah.
That's the most asinine thing I ever heard.
I can guess something. Anybody who would admit that in public deserves to be put out of their misery.
Not only that, Neil, if it turns out that there's anything to the whole God thing, then he knows that they're bullshotting.
That's right.
See you later.
Okay. He can smell it. He can smell a pile of crap from 50 million miles away. I mean, anybody can hear the prayers of 6 billion people all at the same time. He sure can smell it. 5670560, pound 560. I have to admit, a few days ago I was in Publix one evening and I couldn't help it. You know, I've had this my little head cold, and I was standing in line, but there was a woman with her daughter, and she had like a whole bunch of coupons. And at first I started like backing away because even though I cut it out in the aisle, but it was one of those that follows you, you know. It follows you. You think that you're going to leave it behind, and oh, thank God there's nobody in that part of the store, and they're not going to know it's me. But it followed me right into the cashier line there, into the checkout. Because I thought, oh, even I don't like it. You know, it's really bad. But then I saw this bitch. She wasn't that old, but she had a whole bunch of these goddamn coupons. So I just moseyed right on up there and stood there. And she was so busy making sure the checkout girl got every damn coupon. She didn't even notice, I don't think. Can't stand. I realize there ought to be separate lines for women with coupons. I realize you're buying for a family of 25 and you don't make the big bucks like I do. Great. I don't begrudge you getting your 2 cents discount on this and your penny discount on whatever. Just find a separate line, okay? Just get the people through there who have real money. Why is it that the people we mentioned this the other day about the express checkout. Why is it that people with real cash who want to pay real money, no checks, no credit cards, no coupons, just in and out, we have to always be just sucking wind. Here's Davey. Hello.
This is what I always do. I just always keep walking and farting in. Doesn't matter with them. How's it going, Neil?
Okay. This was too obvious, though. It was lingering. It was like a cloud right around my body. You know?
People don't mind with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to say, everyone, really appreciates you being on the radio. They're just little Julios out there that act like idiots sometimes, but I go to college, and there's a lot of classes that radio has been brought up, and everyone somehow miraculously knows you are on the air. It's always Neil. God.
Right. I know that. Everybody in this town listens to the show. Every single one of them.
Oh, they know.
Every one of them.
They know. Especially the young Julios. They love you.
The young Julios are obsessed. They have a Neil blow-up doll that they sleep with at night.
Second is a hockey question.
It's got a foreskin, yes.
I was looking at the NHL standings. What is this RT in the standings?
Regulation tie.
I'm sorry?
Regulation tie. In other words, now, if you tie in regulation, you get a point. So that, in other words, if you lost the game, it won't show it as a tie, but it will. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It'll show as a loss, but it'll also show as a point for the regulation tie.
Well, I heard you on Tuesday, and I'm not going to go ahead and follow the papers because you know how they are giving those 2 points away for.
I mean, how do you put a team with 10 points in second place and a team that's got 11 points in third place? How do you give Ray Whitney 2 points for every goal and a point for every assist? They are clueless, man. It's getting worse by the. It's the 7th year we got a hockey team here, and the media and the public they know less than they did the first year. I didn't get that. Oh, no, I wasn't going to let him do it on the air. He's asking my permission. We don't do douchebags. Let me say it again. No more goddamn douchebags. God. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Man, does that frost my ass. It's like the thing with Ed Kaplan out there at the racetrack. It's the same thing. Nobody cares about your friend Steve or whatever his name is, and nobody cares about whether Ed bet on the 9-horse, the 10-horse, the 11-horse, the 18-horse. Nobody cares. It's boring. It's terminal. It's the worst excuse for crap I ever heard in my life. Oh, God. I think I'm going to take a microphone with me when I go to Pompano every week, and we'll do a show from there. And Fat Rich, oh, God damn it, Brucey, hit him again. I mean, come on. I can't wait till Monday, you know what? I can't wait till Monday, because if you think Defoe is paranoid now. Yeah. Remember the last trend? They lost like 50% of the audience in the morning there on that 25-54 from a 3.2 to a 2.1. Remember that? That sounds like almost half. What's going to happen when the whole summer book comes out? What if there's like we all have another bad month in the last month of the summer book? You know what I'm saying? Wow. He'll really start eating. Here's Miami. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Julio in Miami, first-time caller also.
All right.
You know, I'm usually not a tight-skinned person, but I heard this woman earlier call.
A tight-skinned person?
Well, you know,
a foreskin person?
Well, I am a foreskin person.
A
but
thick-skinned.
That's another side. There you go, thick-skinned. You know, but you had this woman. You had this woman call earlier criticizing a Juliet who worked in a 7-Eleven.
Right.
Out of all places. First of all, this lady's working in a store where she would never consider working, making minimum wage, and at least she tries to learn the language. I mean, should she make up that, you know, an easier target? You know, there's other people out
well,
there.
How about if it would have been a Schwarzer that was working in the store saying, ask you a question? Would that have been better?
Well, those are the ones that are saying that more than anyone. So, I mean, I don't see what her point is. At least this woman is trying to make a living.
How do you know that?
Making minimum wage at a 7-Eleven.
So, in other words, she can't speak proper English because she's working for a cheap?
Well, she came from another country, for God's sake.
Maybe if she could learn to speak the language right, she might be working in like 8-Eleven. Right.
Anyway.
Maybe McDonald's. They're paying $10 an hour. That's not too bad.
Well, she would never work there, and that's my only point.
How do you know that?
Material.
Why not?
Because she's an arrogant woman who looks down upon...
You're talking about the caller, I see.
Yeah, I'm talking about the caller.
Well, what's she doing in 7-Eleven anyway?
Well, there you go.
She ought to be in Publix buying lotto tickets. Oh, that's right. She was buying lotto tickets. I forgot. Okay. Hasta que me olvides.
Love you, Neil.
See ya.
It's the Fins and the Eagles.
Oh, these rejoins are killing us, boys and girls. They're too long. They're killing us, baby.
Play-by-play. Countdown to kickoff.
Oh.
9. The game starts at 1.
Oh.
On your Dolphins station. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
WQAM. Fort Lauderdale.
It's the 1 to 2 hour. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? John Rambo still alive. I want to make movies 4 and 5. My life ain't going great. Planet Hollywood's broke. Unfortunately, I speak like I had a stroke. First blood came in 82. That's when I hurt my penis and it never ever grew. Rambo 2 was in 85 late. Rambo 3 was in 88. Shooting and looting and tooting. My gun. I did not make this movie with my son. His name is Sage. He was in Rocky 5 and Daylight, the tunnel movie. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid. I guess I understand. My whole life is about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. Check it out. out, so call me up. I really need a script. I can do dialogue or keep it zipped. I like comedy, action, adventure, and drama. The only thing I will not do is have sex with a llama. So give me a break, for goodness sake. I used to be on Oprah, now I can't get on Ricky Lake. Right now I got a one-man show in Poughkeepsie. Basically, I'm an unemployed gypsy. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Better Heat. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid, so I understand. My whole life's about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? Absolutely.
103 at 560 WQAM. So here's a fax that says a lot of women listen to you, but most of us are at work and unable to call. I listen to my headphone every day, although I get static with all the computers in my office. That's what happens when you're on a crappy AM station like this one. Crappy signal. I used to listen to you from way back when I was living in Jamaica. How do you like that?
Yeah, man.
We could get WYNZ at nights. It used to be before Bill Calder. That is absolutely correct. Came to the U.S. in 1987, found you on an FM station. That must have been Zeta, right?
Uh-huh.
Reason I don't call is I'd have to hold on too long to speak with you. How do you like that? There's a nice Jamaican lady there who listens every day on her headsets at work, but she do not be calling. She has to wait too long. And I don't blame her, especially with those long rejoins. Just keep dragging it out. Make the 4-minute breaks, which are too long in the first place, make them into 5-minute breaks. Come on, Bluff. You're going to reduce me to tears pretty soon. Let's play about a half a quarter of football on the goddamn rejoins, you maniac, you lunatic, you crazy person, you. Thank you, Power Play. Here's a mobile in Deerfield. Hello. Mobile in Deerfield.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
Neil, you talk a lot about refined carbohydrates.
Yes.
If you weren't overweight and diabetic, would you still not eat them?
How do I know? I'd like to have the opportunity to find out.
Well, that's probably true.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, when I go through
that's
the store,
like saying if I could eat everything that I wanted to, that I liked, and I wouldn't be fat or diabetic, would I do it? Of course.
Yeah,
but you can't do it.
Now you got me going through the stores looking on all the back of the labels to see, what exactly is in there.
Good.
I found this pasta that says it's got nothing in it.
No carbohydrates?
It says it's by its company's name, DeBoles, and it says there's nothing
like the spinach pasta, you mean?
Yeah, an artichoke and
right.
stuff like that.
How many carbohydrates has it got?
It's got like 0.001
carbs.
Yeah.
Are you cereal?
That's what it says on the back of the box.
I'm going out and getting some this weekend. I've had that stuff before, and it's great.
Yeah, DeBoles pasta. They only had an artichoke flavor there, but I'm thinking, crap, I love that the best.
It's
great. I love pasta.
That's great stuff. I appreciate your telling me. I'm going to go out and get some this weekend.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks. How do you like that? I love that stuff. I thought, how is that possible? How can you make pasta with no carbs?
Vegetable meal.
Because I've tried some of that other so-called carbless pasta. You know what I remember?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. 5670560. That would make me, sir, you may have just saved my life. That would send me to heaven. Because I'll tell you, the sauce that Alan from Delight sent us, delicious. It's got like chunks of eggplant and oregano and all kinds of great stuff in it. And like a half a cupful has only got 4 grams of carbs. So that sounds like I can go back to my pasta. I better check the bowls. Check those labels, baby. Nice going. So you can thank me, sir. You're welcome. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm calling. How are you?
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm calling 2 things. I've been listening to you from since 1982 when I got here to Miami from Uruguay.
Oi! Wow.
Yeah. And, man, you're incredible.
Yes,
Let me tell you. You're the voice of reason.
I'm the voice of this community, sir, and that's a pretty sad comment. I don't want to take responsibility for it.
That's so true. Listen, I called you because I saw this article on last Sunday's Herald. It's a book review. And the name of the book is Hitler's Pope.
Right.
You saw that?
Yes, I have. Pius XII.
Yes, sir.
Never met a Nazi he didn't like.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to get that book. I don't have the book yet, but I've
I
seen
gotta
a lot of people have sent me that, and I saw it in the paper.
Yeah, it's incredible.
How do you like that?
Yep.
Never trust a man in a dress. Believe me. Trust me. Well, you know that. You're from Uruguay. You know that.
Yeah. They also call it you're gay.
You're a gay, right.
Okay, Uncle Name, that's all.
Okay. Hasta que me olvides. Arrivederci.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. 5670560. The Bowls pasta. Can that man be right? Is it possible? Because it's certainly not like .000, whatever he said. He better take a puke at that again, okay, the carbs. But if that's true, I'm going to go home. I'm going to have a gigantic, I'm going to fill the bathtub with, I'm going to just put boiling water in the bathtub and just put about 20, 30 containers of that in there. I love that stuff. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 8 minutes after 1 here at QAM.
It's Friday, you bastards.
Arr, Redbeard here with me wench Firecrotch. Back when I was sailing the high seas, a certain thing was taken for granted. That was, once ye captured yourself a wench and dragged her to ye quarters, the moment you stripped her bare and threw her on your bed, even the most perky of breasts would sag to leeward. But recently, I got myself a wench who said she had silicone in her breastises, and this wench was like none I'd ever seen before. Even once I threw her down, her breasts were still perky enough to almost take my good eye out. It was an amazing thing. So after 400 years at sea, it seems that there's always something worth docking for. This is Redbeard with me wench Firecrotch, saying till the next time, safe voyages.
113 at 560. Tight lines and good fishing to you too, sir. Don't forget, if you work at 7-Eleven, do not be asking the customers no stupid questions. I mean, why is it that if you work at 7-Eleven, you have to be illiterate? Is there any law that says you have to be? I don't think so. There's some very nice people who work at 7-Eleven. In fact, some of the nicest people in the world work in convenience stores. I don't think I've ever met anybody in a convenience store who worked there who was like an asshole. Huh? I mean, maybe they weren't Rhodes Scholars. They weren't rocket scientists. Have you ever met like scumbags who work in convenience? I've met scumbags shopping in there, trailer trash, Aunt Your Mama types. But the people working behind the counter, they always seem very nice. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for remembering me from the Express Lane call a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're not called coupons, they're called Jupons. I can say that because I'm Jewish. I guarantee you, if they put up a sign that said Jupons allowed, nobody would use them.
Yeah, well, if I would have known that, I would have farted again.
And there's one thing that is definitely worse than sports talk radio.
With relish.
Financial talk radio.
Right.
Can anybody stand listening to? Who cares? If you're interested, just put on the CNBC and get the market wrap.
No, don't even put on CNBC. You know, for when I had the 7 months off that I got paid in the very short time that I was here in town, thank God most of the time I was away. But when I was here during the daytime, I would be watching that CNBC, and it makes you want to put a gun to your head.
Unbelievable.
It makes you crazy.
And they can just imagine listening to that all day or working it. It's unbelievable. I know what FTL is doing, and it's horrible.
FTL is doing financial talk?
1400, that's FTL, correct?
Yeah.
That's what they do all day.
Oh, my God. That's like doing bowling on radio.
Unbelievable. I mean, I had to turn down a full-time job.
How do they read the ticker to you? Do they read them one after another? Is that what they do?
They just have independent brokers.
The Dow's up 136 and the Nasdaq's up 34.5 and the Standard & Poor's up 17. That's all you need to know. It's another update today. Let's hear it.
Oh! Hey, Neil, did you see... Hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, did you see last weekend Sun Sentinel, the magazine section with this article on the 10-year-old kid who's in college now?
No.
You ever hear of Greg Smith?
No.
This kid, if you want an idea of what he's into, when he was 1, he was reciting the alphabet. At 5, he did a science project on photosynthesis. At 6, he was diagramming molecules. And at 7, he went through high school in 8 weeks. These are the kinds of kids.
You think he asks anybody a question?
He's certainly very polite, actually. Actually, to a friend of mine who saw him on Oprah with a bunch of other prodigies. But there's a difference between being a child prodigy musician, let's say, the guy's going to just go play his craft, and somebody like this. This kid wants to be an astrophysicist, a biomedical engineer, a president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
These are the kids who grow up to be serial killers, mass murderers, and maniacs.
They are.
Yeah, a friend. Well, what's going to happen when he's 20 years old? And
how do you know that? What makes you say that?
Well, it's going to finally dawn on him that the world is screwed up, and there's nothing he can do unless he.
I thought that the kids at work that turn out to be serial killers and maniacs, etc., are the ones who are like misfits when they're kids.
Well, Ted Kaczynski, I don't know what.
Right.
I'm
That's
just
right.
talking
Look at the kind of upbringing
power.
he had.
I'm just talking about brain power. Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly intelligent people. John Wayne Gacy, mostly intelligent.
John Wayne Gacy was a bright guy.
Gacy was an artist.
He was not. What do you mean he was an artist? He was Santa Claus.
And I thought he did. I thought he was into.
He was like a painter. He was like Hitler. He was like a handyman.
Well, just
he was pretty handy under that porch. I'll tell you that. Handy with a shovel.
I'm being a little bit facetious, obviously. I would rather have a very bright kid than a kid who is less.
Kid who asks you a question. Okay, have a great day, pal. I'll see you in the express lane. Get out of here. Whew. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let me ask you a question, okay? You can speak English, I'm telling you. I don't care if you just got off a banana boat, if you're a Schwarzer, if you're some kind of illegal alien. I don't care who you are. You can speak it. Don't
Even
listen to
New
your...
York.
What?
Even if you're from New York.
Even if you're from New York, you can be speaking it, okay? Just listen to the nanny. Not. And let me tell you, speaking of the nanny, yeah, is not a word. Oh, we ought to tell that to Clarence, by the way. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Where's he been lately? Oh, that's right. He's doing 6 to 7 tonight. Because I noticed Ken Malden never comes on at 2 to do the sports headline before Hank comes on. He never goes, yeah, 2 o'clock. Maybe he'll do it today. Come on, Ken, you can do it. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Just one time. Oh, never on a Shabbos? 5670560, pound 560. No comments, by the way, about that great record I played. They're too afraid that they're going to rip it. Oh, that's the word. Every time I play something that I love, that I'm obsessed with, and I really wouldn't care what you said anyway, because I saw the video. I'm the only person in America who even knows from that song what it's all about, what the video is. I'm in love with that song. It's sensational, especially when you see the video. But every time I got something that I like, oh, that really sucks, Neil. That was the worst piece of crap we ever. Okay, okay, your taste blows too. Your mama. Every single time. Here's Carroll City. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
I have 2 things, Neil. I'm a long time listener.
Yes, sir.
What's the sponsor?
A Schwarzer
Yeah.
is a black man.
Is that in the dictionary?
I beg your pardon?
Is it in the dictionary?
It's in the Yiddish dictionary, yes.
Oh, nah, no, because I've been hearing you use that.
Like Goyim is in the Yiddish dictionary.
So could it be anybody of color?
Black.
Not necessarily.
The
Huh?
word Schwarz in German and in Yiddish means black.
Oh, okay. Then second.
Schwarze means a Jewish woman. I mean a black Jewish woman.
All right, okay.
Like Eartha Kitt. Now you're getting me confused.
Wait a minute, okay.
Oh, Yenta, that's a Jewish woman. I'm sorry.
All right, okay. And another comment is that a while ago you had some caller call in talking about, oh, well, I see the government didn't prove nothing against Burke and these guys. He's a lie. Do he realize that Burke his ass was convicted on a bribery charge? Do you remember that caller?
Yeah, I know what he was talking about. I didn't know that.
Well, that's what he was talking about. Talking about, oh well, the government's failed.
I saw the tape with Howard Gary where he said, "I want to steal a freight train."
Of course.
Right.
And this guy going, oh well, they didn't prove what the hell they didn't.
Right.
They burned his
They
ass.
They caught him with his pants down.
Yes, they did.
Right.
That's the comment to this idiot talking about they didn't prove
anything.
Yeah,
he's a jackass.
Yeah, he better get a lie.
He's got his OJ blow-up doll, and he's,
probably squeezing it right now.
And the doll, too. Okay, have a great day, pal. Okay, see you. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We got room for you here today. There's room at the inn. The women, they're busy. They got their headsets on. They're swinging and swaying with Sammy K. With nothing to say. And you know, Knots didn't call us yesterday. I bet you she gained all the weight back. No, I'm serious. I bet you she did. No, that's the only reason I can think that, because she's listening. Positive. But she's too embarrassed to speak to me. And obviously she must have gained the weight back, or a lot of it anyway. Because if she kept the weight off, she could be a great, inspiration to millions of people out there. The Knots Landing lady. I mean, there's other things in life to talk about besides the Cubs and stupid goddamn Knots Landing, I can't think of what she and I would talk, like fat. That's the only other thing we ever had to talk about was fat. And her redheaded husband. Maybe that's her now. Is that her? No. See, now I feel bad. It's been a pretty damn good week. After several weeks of psychosis here, after several weeks of nervous breakdown here at this place, we got ourselves a new monitor here. Oh, thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg. It's a monitor, Greg. It's a monitor. Woo! Can read where the goddamn calls are coming from without the Mama Palomar telescope. I can't even say it. I'm so tongue-tied. Just getting the piece of equipment in here. It's not a great piece, believe me. It ain't a great piece. Hopefully most of you will have a better piece over the weekend than this thing. But at least it works. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hi, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I'm a long-time listener. Love your show.
Yes, sir.
I'm an ex-Christian, Neil.
Yeah.
And I bought your book, the book that you recommended, Farewell to God.
Right.
It was an eye-opener.
It's a fly opener, right?
Yeah. I have a quick story about my church, my ex-church, where when I was dating, when I was a young man, they had a research team trying to find out if I was in fornication. And it turns out to be that 2 months later, the pastor, they caught him in adultery. So
caught him in a what? In adultery?
Adultery.
A dog tree?
No, in a dog tree.
Yeah. He was doing it in a dog tree. He was doing a dog in a tree. Yeah.
He was trying to get some, and meanwhile, he was too busy trying to find out if I was getting some.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
That as soon as they stick their nose in your crotch, that's the time to run like hell. Believe me, pal.
Have you ever heard of a book called The Age of Reason?
Yes.
By Thomas Paine?
Of course.
Interesting book.
Yeah. He'll tell you it's all a bunch of bullcrap. Okay, pal.
All right.
I'll
Take care.
pray for you. Okay. Let's pray for all these heathens out there who we're going to see burning in hell and a lake of fire. God Almighty, what's wrong with you going on the air and telling the truth like this? How can we control the minds of the weak and the desperate when you're out there giving these people the truth, that it's all a bunch of crap, that even a simpleton wouldn't believe this garbage? That's why this show needs to be on 50,000 stations, not on some horseball little AM station in Miami that they're running around here going, what time's the ball game on? Got the 10 horse on the outside. It really is a miracle, you know. This is a miracle. This show on this radio station, the last 2 years, this has been a miracle. Make no mistake about it. Here's Naples. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I called to make sure that your management over there doesn't think that you're the only one that's got a problem with the, the Skank Goldberg, Eddie Kraplin, Barfo show there.
Yeah.
From the track. That sucks so bad.
It's the worst.
Unbelievable.
I love Hank. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking to start a thing with Hank because he and I get along great, and I love his show. But I'm going to tell you, when they start doing this gambling stuff, it's terminal. But obviously, Calder is paying a good buck to have them out there and promote the track on Thursdays and Fridays. And if this is going to go on every Thursday and Friday, then when the fall book comes out, some people on the station are going to be getting a magnifying glass to look for their numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. When they come on, I turn it off.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't handle that crap.
I don't turn it off till I hear Eddie, who's, he's a detriment to anybody's ratings. As soon as he starts doing this inside, well, I need the 9 here. Nobody cares. I mean, let the professional GA people tune in 11 o'clock at night when the rest of us are in bed already, okay?
Yeah, really.
Not in the middle of the daytime. But again, it goes back to our management here. They're like simpletons.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let them know, man. You're not the only one.
Please. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
One more thing.
I got the 8 horse, by the way. Here he comes.
How much you got on him?
100 to win.
Good.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Got him in the triple. I got him in the bet 3. Here comes the 10 on the inside. Oh, he's puking his guts. I'm sorry.
I was wondering if you would ever consider coming over to
Hank show.
the Naples side here, and doing a remote for a week or so.
No. Maybe 5 minutes.
I think you'd fill
I wouldn't even go to Naples, Italy. I'll tell you that right now. Not with all those gypsy and schleppers over there. Have a great life, pal.
Thank you.
You were doing real good too. I'll see you. 5670560. There's a guy who says he don't want to hear about the 9 horse on the inside and the 10 on the outside, and I had 50 to win and 100 across in the exacta and the triple and the bet 3 and a Keeneland. I got the 11 on top. Nobody cares. You crazy person, you Eddie. That would be like an alcoholic coming on here and I got some Jim Beam over here, and I got a bottle of Grandma Boone over here.
Don't mix those.
Oh, well, why not? Make for a hell of a show. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless. See, just when things are going good, they come along here and they start, sticking it to these people. Here's a mobile in Miramar. Hello. Mobile in Miramar. It sure looks like I got the button pressed. The red light is on, and it sounds like crap. Let's try Davey. Hello. Davey.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I just want to let you know, I'd rather listen to Goldie moaning in sexual rapture than I would Eddie Kaplan talking sports.
Yeah, talking gambling. I don't mind him talking sports, but talking gambling.
Ugh. And will you get some people out to these damn Panther games?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. We got 5,500 empty seats tonight.
I just went up. I got a ticket for $14.
Right.
And any seat's good in there.
That's right. Get the Panther pack, and you'll be able to move down anyway. They're not going to check you up there in the upper deck.
All right.
Thanks, pal.
All right.
Okay, see you tonight. Come on, let's come on out there. You got nothing else going on. The team is hotter than hell. Bure will be playing. So if it is Valerie Bure, number 8 on the Calgary Flames, who cares? A Bure by any other name would smell the same. Let's get with it. And, so the prices did go up, and you can't afford the season ticket, but you can buy them a game at a time. Don't just wait until everybody says it's fashionable. And you know something? It should be fashionable right now because they're playing great. I'm trying my best, okay? I'm trying my best, guys. Put some asses in those seats. It's very depressing going out there and seeing lots and lots, thousands of empty seats. 126 at QAM.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Hi, this is G. Gordon Liddy, and they don't come any worse than Neil Rogers.
Well, I think the time is right for me to touch my body. One part there on my body.
All right.
It's just giving me a clue. Yeah. So I gotta look twice and find myself a hideaway. And I know one good hideaway, and that's my bathroom. Oh, I'll find my Playboys and creamy lotion. Put the towel right down on the floor. Oh, I'll put my wrist action in that slow motion. And I pray that no one accidentally opens up the door. Cause I gotta masturbate. I gotta masturbate. Yeah, I gotta masturbate, debate. I gotta masturbate, debate.
Okay, so Robert faxes me this thing, which I did see, by the way. It was in several different publications. This Adriana Biega, who is the make-believe Ricky Martin girlfriend, one of the many beards out there, talking about the great night that she had in bed. It was the greatest. In fact, he was so good in bed she hasn't had sex since he dumped her. Anybody believe it? Anybody buying it?
No.
They go to these long, arduous lengths. I'm going to tell you right now, whether you like his music, and I use that word very loosely, very, very loosely, or not, Ricky Martin floats like a butterfly and stings like a goddamn, he floats like a, however that goes, butterfly and stings like one. Is he fooling anybody?
No.
Except a bunch of silly, out-of-control hormonal girls. That's the sad part. If he could just be as macho as, say, like, Nick. Oh, I shouldn't have started that again. She'll be calling in again. She'll be psychotic. That little, where the hell is that thing? Where's that thing where she said...
Okay, I was in the car about a half an hour ago listening to you.
Yeah.
First of all, Nick Carter has more talent in his right toe than you will ever have, and he's not a pineapple head, you stupid fat faggot.
Yeah. He's getting a little chunky too, honey. 2074-2 at 560 WQAM. So does that make him a fat... Oh, I'm sorry. Where are we going? To Miami. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, what's happening?
How you doing?
I was in my car the other day, and I heard something that you guys got to know about if you don't know. There's a pill, breast enlargement pill.
Yeah.
You can take now. What's your take on that?
Okay, I guess the phone company must be swallowing them right now. You hear that? The guy was, I think he must have caught chirpies from it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir. Boy, the phones all sound real muddy all of a sudden.
Hey, listen, I heard you talking about religion before. I found it pretty interesting.
Yeah?
I was wondering if one of your Christian listeners out there could, because something I don't understand is, if the world was created in 6 days by God, you know, and he put all the animals on and all, how do they explain away the prehistoric age, being as they wrote that back then?
Oh, that's a commie plot. There was no such thing.
But they didn't know anything about it when the Bible was written, therefore they kind of got caught in the lie.
Did you see these bones they found yesterday? It was like 250 million years, a quarter of a billion years old.
Well, have you ever heard one of them explain that away? And also,
Wait a minute, what? Oh, I'm sorry, I made it
the
up.
people that were born before Christ, are they all in hell?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I never could get that
Except
straight.
the Jews.
I was wondering if one of them could call in and
Except the
explain it.
Jews.
They're the chosen people, man. They can do no
yeah,
wrong.
that's
They're
what
in
Hitler
heaven
said,
as
too.
long
They're
as
the
they keep
chosen
kosher.
people. He picked them out special.
I don't know what the big argument about is. You know, everybody knows Pavel Bure is the Messiah.
Right.
Jesus. Get with it, people.
Okay, good luck, pal. He ain't playing tonight, by the way. Jesus might be playing. I know, Pavel shoots and Jesus saves. We know. Corn. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Trevor Kidd's doing pretty good, Jesus. We don't need no Jesus in the net. Trevor's looking pretty damn good. In fact, Sean Burke going to be having a fight of his life to get his job back this year. That's the kind of battle you'd like to have going on. Two goaltenders both playing that good. Anybody know who either one of them is?
No.
No, they don't know. When's that big Schwarzer coming back? Then we'll come out to see those hockey games. When's the big spook coming back? That Peter Worrell. When's he coming back? Not too soon, by the way. Not too soon. That's our poll question, by the way. Who'd you rather have back first, Pavel Bure or Peter Worrell? Here's Miami. Hello.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
Every time you say Ricky Martin, you should play that vomit sound.
Okay.
Hello?
Also, yeah, I'll tell you what's boring on Hank is that Beano Cook. Oh my God, I gotta turn it off every day. He's the most boring character I ever heard of.
Yeah.
It's
even more
beyond
Kaplan than even more boring than what Ed Kaplan's talking about. He's got the 9 horse, and here comes the 10 on the outside.
Well,
I don't think even the GA members can listen to that. I think they just go get the DTs.
Oh, you know, Hank is just a name-dropping whole.
Okay, thanks. Call him up and tell him that. Love Hank. Just don't like Eddie K. ruining the show. You're killing the show, Eddie, okay? Go back there at the nighttime like Woodsy the Owl. Get out of the daytime. You don't belong on in the daytime, please. You're killing us. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Happy Friday to you, God.
And back to you.
Hey, I just wanted to ask
Happy
you
Shavuos.
if you caught the Tom Green show last night.
Nah, I missed it. I asked George about it, but I forgot all about it.
A couple shining moments. He was interviewing some Schwarza, and he was telling him that he was gay, and the Schwarza said, "Hey, I'll pray for you."
Sounds like the Schwarzer stole it from my material for my show.
I think he must be. And he was jumping around with
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, to Tom. And then he was jumping around with Fabio, and Fabio had some suspicious wet streak going from his crotch to about his knees.
Rectum threw Tom in the pool.
Incredible.
I love it.
Fabio was actually a sport.
Really? Too bad he didn't throw Fabio in the pool and put cement blocks on the shoe.
He took his shirt off for Tom.
Too bad he didn't leave the lead weights on Fabio's shoes when he put him in the pool.
It was beautiful. And I just wanted...
But they replay that like on Sunday, don't they?
Yeah, they should a couple dozen times.
Yeah, I'll see it again because I missed it. I forgot all about it.
You'll catch it 10 more times.
That's the problem when you start running a lot of repeats. People will get out of the habit of tuning in. That's why I hate those tapes, you know.
That's good stuff. And I just wanted to put in my vote for the Yahoo of the Florida football scene.
Yes, sir.
It's got to be Butch.
Butch Davis.
One down for Butch.
All right.
Love you guys.
See ya.
Take care.
And don't forget, we could be special. We could have a shot. He ought to be in the running too, you know. He's kind of a Yahoo, good old boy. We got a shot. He just sends me, man. I just crack up. I go into histrionics when I see that spot on TV. We got a shot. I come back for one reason. We got a shot. And he starts sweating and emoting. You think he's going to have a goddamn coronary. Just calm down, okay, Jimmy? It's just a stupid football game. Just relax. I see a hair out of place, too, by the way. He's really getting emotional now. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 22 before 2. We got Hank and Defo and Eddie K. at the track at 2 this afternoon. 5 to 6, it's the Got a Shot show with Jimmy Johnson and Hank. 6 o'clock, we got Josh Darrow. Clarence is on there 6 to 7. The Flames and the Panthers. The Flamers are going to be here tonight. Pre-game with Geldy at 7. Drop the puck 7:30 something tonight. Get out there to the arena. Come on. Let's have a few people there, 10 or 20. Come on.
QAM's got the coach.
We got a shot. We got a chance to be special.
Today at 5, here on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Baby, you melt my jockey shorts.
In the 50s, Robert Young made people laugh and Father Knows Best. Now, this great series is back, starring a few Catholic priests who like it young in the return of Father Knows Best.
Step into the confessional, Billy.
I don't know, Father. This makes the 47th time I've been in there this week.
Oh, Billy, you want to be a good Catholic, don't you?
Yeah, but does everybody get a spanking?
Father Knows Best. It's the Vatican's best-kept secret, and you've got a private seat for all the fun. Just enter the rectory from the rear.
All right, Billy boy, it's time for your flute lesson.
But, Father, your flute has only one hole, and it doesn't make any noise.
Oh, it will, Billy. It will.
Father Knows Best. Once you've seen this new sitcom, you'll wonder why you've never heard about it.
Let me introduce you to St. Peter.
Father Knows Best. Going to church may not seem very entertaining, but there really is something funny going on here.
Sure is. 144 at 560 WQAM. But by the way, somebody ought to tell the priest you can't make no babies like that. Anyway, don't forget this weekend, and as of right now, as I speak, as a matter of fact, Specs has got the new and improved Best of Neil CDs and cassettes. And Tuesday night we'll be at Pizza Law from 6 to 8 p.m. with the cassettes and the CDs and the T-shirts and those keychains with all the neat stuff on them, which I'd like to see one someday. By the way, how's Carol doing? Seen Carol from Center One yet today?
No.
No. I'm not going to say anything yet. Here's Miami. Hello.
Oh, there we go.
All right. I should have known we could get the old Howell back just before the week ended. I told you this week was going a little bit too good. Got the old Howell back there on line 8. Sorry about that, sir. Call me back on some other line, as if you have some control over that. Does he have any control?
No.
Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Neil,
Yes,
how are you
sir.
today?
Okay.
Just got my Sports Illustrated in the mail, and I'm paging through it while I'm listening to you.
Yes,
and on
sir.
page 34, I flipped the page, and there is a picture of O.J., Pedro Guerrera, his girlfriend, Sam Duquesne's elbow.
This is in Sports Illustrated?
Page 34, the October 25th issue.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And it goes up.
The embarrassment never stops.
It's
That's
now-
going to be our new logo.
Oh, my
Now
God.
national. It's now national, and you can't see Roy, but he's got his arm around the girl. You can see his arm.
Yeah.
And it goes on about how O.J. called and, the whole deal with the 911 and Pedro Guerrero with the drugs or whatever. But now it's gone national that he's
Roy!
Oh, my God. Thanks for the bad news.
Okay, have a good one.
Yeah, it was. Wow. WQAM, where the embarrassment never stops.
Oh!
So I heard that Pedro was just chipping some balls. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Man, the lines really suck there, huh?
They what?
They suck.
They
the
suck.
phone
Yeah.
line. Man,
It
Neil,
sucks.
3 quick things. A couple of days ago, there was a caller that he asked, why do people call you Uncle Neil, right?
Yeah.
Well, because it's better than Uncle Sam, you fool. Number 2, I have a coworker here, and
Yeah.
he loves the Yankees.
He what?
Sick. He loves the Yankees, New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm fed up.
Screw the Yankees.
They're so obnoxious.
I despise the Yankees. They make me sick. George Steinbrenner's an asshole. The Yankees make me nauseous. Go Braves, go, baby. Of course. Now, Hank made a good point the other day, and that is that probably they'll win because Joe Torre will outmanage Bobby Cox, who's an old fool. I saw there was a thing in the paper this morning about they're trying to make Bobby Cox seem like a genius. Bobby Cox is a moron. If he could have won the 5th game, they take the lead in the top of the 15th inning, and instead of bringing in one of his starters like Kevin Mulvold or Glavine or somebody and closing that game out, he leaves in Schmendrick, who's just barely hanging on anyway, and they wind up blowing the game. He could have closed it out without any game 6.
Yeah, Neil, and real quick to finish, Neil, you know how those damages in Sweetwater and down in South Bend and stuff, how come I didn't see Major Alexia Pinga out there trying to survey all the damages, huh? You blow, you Major Pinga.
He don't want to get his pantaloonies wet.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Oh, I understand he floats anyway. That's what I hear. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe he's busy out there at the airport with his buddies from American Airlines. Maybe he's helping him unpack a new shipment. I don't know what he's doing out there. Maybe he's giving him a hand grenade or two. And it's just amazing to me. These people don't care. I mean, billions of dollars. And this isn't money that's coming off a tree somewhere, by the way. This is tax money. This is tax dollars coming out of the pockets of taxpayers from coast to coast. To smear, to grease and to smear, and all the lawyers and all the goddamn lobbyists getting the money. And like I said, most of it's going for the American Airlines deal over there, which are the worst of them all. The worst grave robbers, the most indifferent, the most callous, the people we despise and hate. I'm not talking about the pilots and the flight attendants and the everyday slobs who work for American. I'm talking about their management with their callous, indifferent, obnoxious attitude. And, of course, the ramp rats with their goddamn heroin and their cocaine and their hand grenades and stuff like that. The ramp rats. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
Well, I didn't get a chance to call when Will Chamberlain died, but you notice how all these guys, the athletes, are certain persuasion, so to speak, are making babies like Evander Holyfield, etc. 20,000 women. How many kids?
I don't know.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
He did the right
He
thing.
knew what he was doing, yeah.
Take care.
He wouldn't see his philosophy was when in doubt, pull it out. I think that's what he said. Yeah. That was his motto. 5670560, pound 560 on it. And Evander Holyfield, he'd be a minister now. He'd be a minister into the folk. The father of our country. It's just nauseating. It's disgusting. And like I said before, people who admire scumbags, what are they? They're scumbags. I rest my case. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you didn't catch Tom Green last night, huh?
No, I did not.
I'll tell you what, if you get to see the repeat, the segment where he brings home a dwarf, like Fiji woman with a blonde wig into his mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
and she's drinking at breakfast, and she's passed out, and he disappears for like 6 hours and leaves her there. It's classic. You got to see it.
Oh, I won't miss it. I'll catch it on Sunday.
He's fabulous.
Yes,
he gives his brother a Playboy, and it's quite a scene. And Neil, make no mistake, Sammy Davis, King of the Jews.
What is it? King of the Jews. Okay, whatever you say. Tom Green is my hero, baby. It was Jesse Ventura for a few days till I saw he was hanging out too much with his chump Donald Trump. See, the media, they're so stupid. Not only do they buy into Donald Trump thing and they start parading that around like it's a legitimate news story, like somebody might vote for him. Muhammad Ali pulled a beauty on the media a few days ago, and they're all dutifully reporting it. Oh yeah, Muhammad Ali wants to come back out of retirement, and he wants to put on an exhibition match and fight